You know what I mean? Like they would have like whoever shot that would have probably had to have been like 3% more crazy than they already were to be like willing to pull the trigger on, with some .115s. You know what I mean? So definitely scary, definitely scary. Um, but anyways, that's what happened. That's what happened. We're going to go and get that first guest up of the day, everybody. If you are in that queue, make sure that means that you do indeed support Trump. And if you are one of the first 5,000 people in here, guys, make sure that we're double tapping away on that phone screen and sharing out that live. Yeah, let's go and get that. We're going to go right back into the debates, everybody. We're not skipping a beat. We're going right back into the debates, everybody. What's going on, Red Meme Guy? Are you MAGA?
Yeah, I'm a Republican.
How old are you?
I'm 18.
Okay, we've spoken before. I remember you, man. We've actually spoken a couple times, so I am going to go to move on, y'all. Let's go to get that first guest up of the day. We got Zach Prince loaded into the live, everybody. Make sure that we are double tapping away on that phone screen, sharing out the live with a handful of friends. If you are watching the stream and you are MAGA, make sure to let me know down below in that chat literally right now. And we're going to get you up in here. We're going to get you up in here. So, yeah, let's go to get that first guest up of the day, everybody. Let's go to get that first guest up of the day, guys. Go ahead and drop a MAGA down below in that comment section if you want to come up and debate. What is going on, kid? Are you MAGA?
Yeah, I'm leaving.
You're what?
Yeah, I'm leaving. Hold on, I'm trying to get to my room real quick.
Okay, how old are you?
I'm 19 years old.
I don't believe you. I think that you're a kid. Keegan, what's up? I know you're MAGA, right? Ah, Keegan left. No, dude. Keegan was just spamming scared in that comment section too. By the way, if you're one of the first 6,000 people tuning in, we're just hopping into the debates, y'all. So, give us a minute to get that first guest up here. It tends to be a little bit more difficult to get the first guest of the day. I'm kind of feeling a little bit out of it today as well. But you know what? We're going to do it nonetheless. Go ahead and let me know down below in that chat if you're MAGA and you'd like to come up here and debate, guys. Go ahead and let me know down below in that chat if you're MAGA and you'd like to come up here and debate. What is going on? PS Picks, do you support Trump? PS Pix is not here. What about you, Zach? You're saying that I was scared of you in that comment section. Zach, take it away. Tell us why you support this terrible president, Donald Trump.
What'd I say? I said you were scared?
I think so.
I don't know if I said that. I just said you don't really know how to debate properly.
Ah, okay. So then absolutely. Wait, actually, you know what? How about this? Before we hop into our conversation, Zach, I'm going to go ahead and start the live over on YouTube. Because I think that you're going to school me. You're going to teach me a lesson or two. And we might as well have that permanently recorded, right?
I mean, I've just heard some of the things you said. It doesn't quite add up with, logic.
Give us 5 seconds to start the live on YouTube. Hello and welcome into the YouTube stream for everybody tuning in. It's good to have you in here with us today. We're going to hop straight into the debates with the Trump supporters. We, in fact, have the first guest of the day, Mr. Zach, up here. Zach thinks that I don't know quite how to debate properly and what I say doesn't align with logic. So, yeah, go ahead and teach us a lesson. Take it away. Why do you support Trump? Let's have a debate.
Well, first, I heard you talk to Charlie Kirk a while ago about, abortion, and you were even claiming something about, life or whatever, and it's how are you going to say that shouldn't happen when, you can't murder someone? Murdering people are bad, so how would you take away someone else's life from them?
Okay. What? I'm sorry. Those were words, okay, and I think that there's a lot of like keywords that you definitely hit on, and they you said murder and abortion and whatnot, okay, those two words go together, but I don't think that sentence made much sense. Can you repeat that?
Yeah, so you think that murdering people are bad,
right? Murder's wrong. That's so true. You're right. Yeah. Spit
but
facts,
you're
Zach.
gonna
Spit
murder
facts.
a baby.
So I don't think that abortion's murder. So that's kind of the whole gist of it, right?
Okay, well, why?
Right, why? Okay, well, that's a great question. Because I think that murder can be defined as the unjust termination of a human life. And I don't think it's unjust to terminate the life of the fetus, or at least I'm unconvinced. The reason why is I can't, for the life of me, identify a single trait of that fetus that is morally valuable. Can you help me out? Could you tell me what about that fetus is something in which I should morally value?
Well, it came from its mother and its father. Obviously, it's going to have some human types of traits, and it's going to want to grow up and have its own life one day.
Okay, so you're saying that what makes it morally valuable is the fact that it's human?
Well, we don't even have to go down the abortion route. You say, why do you support Trump? I don't know.
You're the one that brought abortion up.
Okay, whoop-de-doo. Who cares? Now I'm moving on.
Okay, I'll let you pivot, man. Take it away. Pivot. Do it.
Why do you support Trump? I mean, I don't know. Maybe because the majority of the people voted for him, and we all are done with dealing with all the left's bullshit.
Right. So, fun fact. Donald Trump actually didn't get a majority of the votes in the election.
Oh, that's funny. Why did most of the people vote for him instead of Kamala?
Okay, so the claim that more people voted for Trump than Harris is true, but this doesn't imply.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but
So
this doesn't
I
imply
just
that he
proved your
got him.
point. The majority of them voted for Trump.
That's not true. And the reason that's not true is because Kamala Harris and Donald Trump were not the only two candidates in the election, okay? When we consider third party candidates, we come to the conclusion that a majority of individuals in the election voted against Trump, and that's a statistical
Okay,
fact.
but did anyone actually vote for Jill Stein or whatever her name is? No one actually voted for any of those people.
1.3 million people voted for Jill Stein.
Yeah, that's not real. Those people are probably programmed by opposition.
That
Just
sounds
like
like a
you.
load of fucking
Just
bullshit.
like you.
What do you wait?
Just like
You think
you.
okay.
Literally programmed by opposition.
When you say literally programmed by opposition, are you saying like I'm like literally a robot, like an AI?
I don't know. You're probably programmed by deep state employees. You send out all this fake news and information to separate and divide our country. I mean, look at what the CIA has done before. They've been involved with coups all across the world. I mean, that's what the CIA does. The CIA has put people out to act like normal civilian people and be humans, but then they're not actually. They're CIA people, and they try to get people to believe shit that's not real to divide our country and make it hateful. And unluckily for you, you seem like one of those people who have fallen victim of the CIA.
Holy shit. Okay, can I tell you a story, Zach?
Sure.
So when I was younger, maybe like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years old, I had a very active imagination and I had fun with it. Some things that me and my sister would do growing up is we'd play school, right? We'd take an old desk of my father's, maybe a couple things from his work, like a old laptop and maybe a couple pens and papers. And maybe one day she'd act like the teacher, I'd act like the student. We'd have fun, right? You know, there's even like a railing on one of the staircases in the house, and we'd like sit on that railing and act like it was a school bus, you know, very imaginative children. But you know,
Are
obviously,
you trying to say the CIA hasn't done bad things like that before? Are you a bootlicker?
well, what I am telling you is that everything you just said about how I'm programmed by the deep state and yada yada, whatever the
The
fuck.
CIA is the deep state.
That's like the same level of imagination that made me and my sister play school
Oh,
growing up. I
imagination.
think it's
So I'm making things up.
yes, precisely.
Just kind of like you.
What am I making up, sir? I'm not the one saying that you're like a lizard person born
How many
on
followers?
Mars
You,
to
you,
destroy
you
our
have
country. That's what you're saying.
3.2 million followers.
That's right,
all
I
from
do.
spreading bullshit lies on the internet.
Okay, then
You're
name one.
opposition.
Okay, I have over 100 videos and over 1,000 hours on record doing these debates in which you could watch
How many?
every single
You
one of
probably.
them on the YouTube
How many
channel.
push-ups
Can
can
you
you do
name
right now?
can
Do
you
all
name
the amounts of push-ups you can do. You can't even do 10.
Okay, before we talk about how many push-ups I could do, name a single lie I've ever told.
Just right there. Name a single lie. You've told a lie.
Okay, name it.
You claimed that Trump was trying to ruin America. Why would he be trying to ruin America if he's the first president not taking a salary?
So, although he rejected the $400,000 per year salary, he only spends like what, $40 million per year at his own private golf course funded by the taxpayer?
So are you like ignoring what I just said? Because I just proved your whole fallacy wrong.
I proved you wrong. He spends
proved
like
me wrong.
$40 fucking million at his
Okay,
own
but
private.
he could use but he's not taking a salary. It's like, why would
Do you know how many? Okay, fuck $400,000. You know that he made like 40 billion with a B billion dollars off of rug pulling his own supporters on his Trump coin. And then when individuals realized there was a rug pull, he was like, "Well, I'm going to invite the top 220 supporters to Mar-a-Lago to have a private dinner
They
with
didn't
me."
do it at the time. It was their fault. They didn't buy in. Like Trump literally was trying to make the whole country rich. If everyone bought that coin,
Oh, then also, did you know
would
that
be a
according to
million.
Donald Trump's own tax returns, he actually didn't donate all of his presidential salary?
Huh?
Did you know, according to Trump's own tax returns, he actually didn't donate the entirety of his presidential salary?
That's another deep state blue
Deep
lie.
state bullshit. That's right. How about this, sir? I want you to tell us like one thing about Trump that you like that makes you think that he's a good president, Mr.
I think he's a good religious man has conversations with God about how to improve our country.
Wow. You know, he actually posted about this the other day on Truth Social. He said that God guides him, that God chose him to be the president. Do you know he posted that like 2 days ago? And you believe that bullshit?
I've been saying that for so long. I mean, he's had conversations with Jesus, and they've been working together on how to create a better land for the freedom of the world and how to make a better country. And him and Jesus and God, they all know each other. They work with each other.
Zach, what evidence, what reason could possibly lead you to believing this?
Well, have you ever prayed?
I grew up Catholic. I prayed a lot.
Did Jesus ever reach out to you?
Did Jesus ever reach out to me? I mean, I'm not sure what that even means.
Maybe he didn't reach out to you because he already knew you were devil-ridden.
B, thank you so much for the 2 galaxies. Appreciate that. Okay, so now
I can see it coming out of your eyes.
So did you know that like Donald Trump actually said that he's never had to ask God for forgiveness for a thing ever in his life?
Because maybe because
and if he was personally picked by God and if he was picked by God and Jesus, well then why is it the case that he doesn't implement the teachings of God and Jesus within his policy? Like for instance, Jesus,
like what?
Yeah, providing to those that
name one.
For sure, providing to the poor. He's actively taking from the poor. That big, beautiful bill reduces the after-tax income for 80% of Americans and disproportionately so for the bottom 20% of income earners. It cuts their after-tax income by $2,200.
Dude, you don't know what the hell you're. I can tell that you don't know politics left from right, up from down.
Okay.
You don't know anything about what's happening in the world because you're controlled opposition.
Well, prove me wrong. It should be easy if I'm so delusional.
Okay, have you read the bill?
Have I read the bill? No. Not all.
Boom, just proved you wrong. Go read the bill and then come back to me with that same attitude because you're going to be ecstatic when you see it. So, your whole life just changed in front of your eyes. Donald Trump just came down here and fucking changed your life for the better, and you're sitting up here bitching and crying? Maybe you should get deported. You should get out of here.
Okay, well, before we talk about that, deporting U.S. citizens, I don't plan to read all 1,000 pages of the big, beautiful bill until it passes.
Well, I did. Twice.
You are a liar.
Oh, I'm a liar? Do you know how long it takes to read that? Not long if you pay attention.
How long did it take you to read it twice, buddy?
2 days twice. Just once. It took me just a day to read the bill because I want to educate myself.
You read 1,000 pages in one day?
It's not that hard if you sit down and pay attention.
Truly.
It's something that you can do.
Okay, so recite it.
Well, basically, he's giving tax cuts to everyone, including billionaires. Everyone gets a tax cut.
I want you to be incredibly specific about the contents of the 1,000 pages. If you've read it twice,
well, it's a lot of information to take in. I would have to go get my notebook, and I don't have that.
Wait, you need a notebook? You read it twice. You
I wrote it.
I wrote
the most important parts in the notebook, and I don't have it on me. What do you want me to do?
Right. I sense bullshit. That's okay. That's what I sense.
How about you go to Google and look up best things?
Google. You want me to go to Google? What about DuckDuckGo? Is it like Google from like this, like Satan?
That one doesn't work as well. You go look up best things in the bill now.
You know what? Do you know who Elon Musk is? Do you think that Elon Musk is
I know who he is.
Do you think he's a good businessman?
I don't know. Does his bank account say so? Because I think $400 billion says so.
Oh, $400 billion. So he's a great businessman. Okay. Do you know what his thoughts are on that big, beautiful bill?
Yeah, and he was another. He's just now trying to change because
he hates it. He hates it because
got mad. A whole bunch of baby liberals got mad. Now he's trying to make it seem like everyone loves it. That's the only reason he said it.
No.
He doesn't believe it. He knows how good the bill is.
No. Because listen, man. Okay, what was his purpose in the government? It was to head the DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, and
he's doing that.
Listen to what I'm saying without interrupting me, please, Nardo. Thank you for the galaxy. So here's the deal: he headed a department to cut what it was in his eyes like wasteful expenditure from the federal government, right? And he worked tirelessly for 130 days to serve the American people well, to cut all that wasteful spending. And he was able to get like what, $300 billion? Okay. Well, guess what? Every penny he cut was overshadowed by this big, beautiful bill that's going to cost $3.8 trillion. Man, it's like at the end of the day, this is Donald Trump exploding our country's debt. At the end of the day, this is Donald Trump exploding our country's deficit. I just can't believe it.
Yeah, you're just. It's funny because I feel like people really only hate people that they're jealous of.
Right. So you hated Biden, right?
No, I mean, I hated his
wait,
what he did.
wait,
I
wait.
hated
So
his-
wait,
what he did as a
wait. So you said that
president,
you're a
but him
Christian.
as a
So do
person,
you
it's
do you hate
okay.
Satan? Do you hate Satan?
You're trying to play these little willy-nilly games.
Come on, answer my question.
You're trying to play some willy-nilly games.
So willy-nilly games? Nice, buddy. So answer the question. Do you hate Satan?
I don't like him.
So you hate him?
Don't like and hate are different things.
They're different things. They're different. Okay, what's the difference?
One is I just don't like him because of what he does, and the other is I hate him, which is hateful.
Okay, what is hate? What does it mean to hate somebody?
Hate someone means you don't like him to an extent of hate, and you want to just be mean to them all the time. I wouldn't want to be mean to someone all the time that I don't like. I just don't like them.
Nardo, thank you for the galaxy. So you wouldn't be chill with like bullying Hitler?
I would.
Right, so would I, but that's like being mean to him all the time. So therefore we both
Who
hate Hitler.
cares? How about you tell me what
I mean, do you know that
Biden
under
was
your
gonna
view,
do?
this would imply that therefore you're jealous of Hitler?
How about you tell me what Biden did?
What I mean, Biden was one of the most effective presidents in
No!
modern.
Effective my ass. He was effective at stealing all this money from America and giving it to the criminals.
He stole money from Americans and gave it to the criminals. When you say criminals, I could only assume.
They let all these illegals in to try to get them to vote Democrat. They gave him money for that.
Okay.
Are you brain dead, buddy?
No, I'm not. I'm not at all. Here's the deal. So you just told us that he was stealing money from Americans and giving it to criminals. So no, Donald Trump did not receive any money from Joe Biden.
Huh?
Donald Trump didn't receive any money from Joe Biden? You said that he was giving money to
Okay,
criminals.
cool.
Obviously he
Good.
wasn't.
He didn't receive money from anyone because he doesn't take money from people. He tries to make them money.
You just didn't get that at all. You did. So I don't know.
You don't get nothing.
You obviously, it just flew right over your head. The implication
You don't get nothing.
is that if you were factual in saying that Biden gave money to criminals, then he would have gave money to Trump because Trump's a criminal.
No, he's not.
Sure, he is. He was convicted of 34 felonies. He was held civilly liable for
The bullshit felonies that all the liberal judges put on him.
judges.
He accidentally brought a piece of paper to his home. Okay.
No, so that's going to be the concealed documents case, and that was adjudicated civilly by a Republican judge in Florida. I'm talking about the 34 felonies out of New York, right? Isn't it kind of crazy that now you're confusing like the
New York,
litigation
that's
and the
better. Yeah,
crimes
New York.
that Donald Trump has committed with one another?
New York.
You just
AKA
confuse him
liberal
intentionally
city.
concealing classified documents with him paying off a Peace Star and then writing it as a business expense to
Dude, you guys
to
come
sway
up
the
with
outcome
all
of an
this
election.
shit like you don't even know what you're talking about. I'd say just go get someone else to talk to because you quite don't know what you're talking about, and I think I'm too big for your britches.
Okay, well, before I move on to somebody with an IQ that is just dramatically lower than yours, let me thank a couple people. TORC, thank you for the $20 over on YouTube Super Chat saying that guest has zero self-reflection. How do you feel about TORC's comment here?
That I have zero self-reflection?
Yeah.
Oh, I do. I wake up every day and look at myself and say, how can I be morally better than I was yesterday? And that is by following Christ.
By following Christ. What are the first 4 books in the New Testament?
Do I have to tell you?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
How could you follow Christ if you don't even know the gospel? Man.
Do you follow Christ? I can tell you don't because you didn't vote for Trump and you don't know what real morals and real values are.
So the real moral.
So how about you turn off your little live stream and go read a book?
So
go educate yourself.
Oh, you read books?
How about you stop?
Read books?
Go.
You read books?
How about
you read books? You read books?
I read the Bible.
Really? Name 10 books.
Bible. New Testament, Old Testament. Dr. Seuss.
You read Dr. Seuss? Do you like read that one with your mommy?
Harry Potter.
Do you read Dr. Seuss?
I could
with your
go on
mommy
for
before you go to
days.
bed?
I could go on for days.
For days. Okay, well, actually, I need to read another donation here. Coral, thank you for the $50 over on YouTube Super Chat. Shout out Coral. Coral says, about to go to work, but I just want to say hi and keep up the great work. I hope that you're having a great day and weekend. Thank you for the love, Coral. I hope you are as well. Coral didn't say anything about you. We see Caleb with a $2 saying Christian
Good.
here.
She knows how to
Harris.
keep my name out of her
Jessica
mouth.
with the $2. This guy seriously needs to get an education. Jessica thinks you need to get an education.
I've been educated.
Kenneth, thank you for the $15 over on YouTube Super Chat. I really appreciate you guys so much for the love. As well as I would also like to thank Michelle. Thank you so much for the $25 over on Venmo, saying that you're the bright spot of my day. Thank you for the love, Michelle. Shout out, Michelle. Chris with a $10. Thank you so much for the love over on Venmo, Chris. Dolce with a 5, Gabby with a 5, and Jade with a 20. Jade says, this guy has watched Men in Black too many times. What was he like talking?
Never seen it. Never seen it.
You should.
I don't watch. Oh, it was funded by a liberal.
Oh my God, you're insane. You're actually insufferable.
I'm
then Brianna,
insane?
thank you so much
I'm
for the
insane
$25 over on PayPal.
because
Brianna
they're
says, always
funding
love to
movies
see you
that are
live. Glad
trying
that
to
you and your girlfriend are
indoctrinate
okay
our
after
children
yesterday.
into
Thank you for the love,
believing shit
Brianna.
that's not
And then
happening.
Danny with the $2 and Marjorie Knox
Like
with the
aliens?
$50. Thank you, Knox.
Transgender aliens coming down and trying to take over the country.
Well, dude, you're fucking delusional. Oh my God, like, just like introspect for a second. Listen to what you just said. You just said that transgender aliens are trying to take over the country. Like, you're actually like delusional. Bro, like, just listen. Just listen to me real quick. Actually, just listen to me real quick. But y'all, seriously, show some love to Knox down below in that comment section for the $50 donation. Just hear me out, okay? Right? Like, if you're like shouting at the top of your lungs about how you truly believe that transgender aliens are taking over the country, like, bro, believe that transgender water.
I go camping, I go hunting, I go fishing. I'm outside all the time.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm gonna go and move on to the next guest. So just give us a minute to go and get that next guest, Jordan K. up in the live, guys. Just give us a minute, y'all. If you're part of the 12.7 thousand people that are tuning in, we just started off the live stream. That was the first guest of the day, and we are already just off on a terrible foot. Let me tell you, Jordan, what's going on? Are you MAGA?
Hey, you there?
Yeah, what's up, man? Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
Oh, Jesus Christ, man. Why is that?
I just think that you know, my grandma is on a part of like the you know, I don't even really know the full like thing she's on, but she's a part of the board for like the Trump administration, and she gets to go to all of his
So
whatever.
You voted
What?
for Trump so your Mima could have fun partying in D.C.
No, my grandma doesn't party by any means. But my grandma.
Real quick, how old are you?
What?
How old are you?
17.
I should ask for your age, Jordan. You got to be at least 18 to be on TikTok Live. We're going to move on to the next guest. Go to drop a MAGA down below in that chat if you do want to come up here debate. Sent, thank you so much for the thank you so much for the fireworks. I do really appreciate you so much for the love. We got that next guest, Graves, loading up. And what's going on, Graves? Are you MAGA?
Yo.
Hey, what's up? Are you MAGA?
Yeah.
Nice. How old are you?
20.
Perfect. So take it away. Tell us why you support this train wreck of a presidency.
All right. So I'm not going to come on here and get all mad like, you know, all the other ones, because I'm just going to straight up tell you I'm not like the smartest, so I ain't going to be using all these smart words and stuff.
Okay.
But so basically middle age, kind of. So I be working at a job, and I just think
wait. You just said that you're middle-aged, brother. You're 20. Calm down.
Nah, like middle-aged class.
What?
All right, just skip that.
Okay.
All right. So basically, my main thing with Trump is basically, I think as a business owner, way better for them and people who work for the business, as if gas, that's all cheaper as right now. We could both agree. What state are you in?
I'm in Colorado.
Oh, so in I don't know how it is in Colorado, but in Texas, it's cheaper gas, diesel, everything.
All right, let me ask you a question. How has Donald Trump already reduced the price of gas? I'll hear you out.
Sorry?
How has Trump reduced the price of gas? Let's hear it.
Don't ask me. All I care is about the price. I don't care how he does it.
Okay, well, like, think about it this way. When you take DRUGS, you could experience short-term euphoria and you might be happy, but like obviously like the long-term implications are going to be incredibly negative, meaning that it's not a good thing to do DRUGS. Now let's see how this is analogous to why the price of gas has dropped and how that might induce happiness. Well, all typical indicators of reductions in price of gasoline haven't been seen. Like for one, we see lower gas prices when we have higher levels of imports of gas into America. Well, it is the case that because of Trump's tariffs, we're actually at the lowest level of gasoline imports since the 1970s. Okay, so then what's causing the low gas prices? It's not like we've been producing much more oil domestically. We're producing around the same that Biden and Harris were when they left office. So what is it that's been reducing the prices of gasoline? Well, it's because the future markets on oil have plummeted because there's been such a lack of confidence from investors. Okay, so when investors are not
Whoa,
investing
whoa,
in the
hold on,
future
hold on.
markets of oil and gas, guess what? You will also see this via lower gas prices now, but that's actually not necessarily a good thing, and definitely was caused by Trump. But we wouldn't say that's a good thing, right? Like we don't like it when markets crash because
So,
of a lack of
so
investors'
while
confidence. Also, thank you for the Liberty Bell. I really appreciate you for the love.
so while Biden was president, him taking down oil fields and all that didn't have any effect on our diesel and gas prices.
Oh, he actually ushered in the most domestic production of oil and gas that we've ever seen. So when you're accusing him of taking down the oil fields, it's just not true.
So if we're producing more oil, why is it more expensive for us to pay for diesel and gas?
Great question. It's because we saw a reduction in imports because Russia started ethnically cleansing Ukraine, so we sanctioned all of their oil, and OPEC decreased their output by 10%.
I got you. And then another thing, main reason, like I'm not saying Trump's like the best president in the whole world, but I'm just saying like out of Kamala and then
Kamala.
Biden or whatever, I'd prefer Trump.
Right. So tell me why you prefer the 34 count felon over the attorney. Tell me why you prefer the guy that explicitly called for the termination of the Constitution.
Well, number one, Trump can walk up the stairs without falling.
Okay, so can Kamala Harris.
Oh. All right, so give me this. Let's say Osama bin Laden has never been shot, right? Now, it's coming out of nowhere, I understand. Let's say 9/11 never happened and it happened today. Kamala's president, Kamala, whatever, is president, and Trump's president. Who do you think would react better?
Definitely Harris.
What?
Yeah, 110%. Donald Trump doesn't know what the fuck he's doing with like foreign relations. I don't think that Donald Trump could appropriately respond to like such a large attack on American soil, and that's because I think that Donald Trump is a DUMBASS. My evidence is that you would never be able to provide me a single clip of him speaking intelligently and coherently about foreign or domestic policy in like the last
Biden can't
35
even
years.
speak a sentence.
But the sentences he did speak were very intelligent and coherent and did relate to the great policy that he passed during his 4 years. Not to mention, I'm comparing him to Kamala Harris.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
I've been thinking about Biden.
Right. I know. Can't get enough of Big Daddy Joe, right? Never can.
Easy, buddy. Snaked up.
So tell me, I mean, seriously, could you like show me or play me a single clip of him speaking intelligently about policy ever?
I guarantee you if I scroll 20 seconds on TikTok, I could.
Right. Okay, well, that's some
I
high levels of
will
confidence.
say this.
Can we also talk about what Trump did when 9/11 happened? Did you know that after 9/11, he boasted the fact that because the Twin Towers were demolished, he had the tallest skyscrapers in New York City?
I didn't know that.
Oh my God, I just sneezed on my mic. Ew! Okay, anyways. Yeah, we could obviously agree that that's not a good response, right?
Yeah, I got you.
Right. So what's the next argument?
The main thing is like I'm not huge into politics. Really, I just like to do what's like best for like I don't want to say my life like I'm selfish, but like like people around me, my town and all that, but off of like my views, like I'm not big into politics. I just go off of like how I live and stuff.
No, dude, I mean, listen, I'm not going to lie. You're not that much of a confrontational guest. I appreciate that. Let me tell you. I mean, obviously I disagree with your views, but you're not like, you're not being an
I'm not going
a-hole.
to come out here and cuss you out. Like
Right,
Zach, I ain't going to lie. Zach, the last guy, I mean, yeah, anyway, I don't want to be like that. But basically, like, I'm just going to say I'm living better now than I was like, let's say a year ago.
No, you're not. How
are you going to tell me about my life?
Yeah, for sure. Because in the first quarter of this year, we had a negative growth in the GDP. We had a market crash. We had a stagnation investment into American industries. We're now being like boycotted by almost like every other country on the face of planet Earth. I don't really see any like relevant indicators that would tell us that your life is better now than it was when Biden was in office.
Yeah, that's true.
Right, that's kind of my point. Real quick, Vermin, thank you so much for the $10 over on YouTube Super Chat. Vermin says, where do you get the lavender caramel anxiety pin from? I want to get one to work to replace my VAPE pin with.
Oh, dude, I literally just requested, never thinking I was gonna get accepted. Like I just tapped it for fun, and then all of a sudden you accept it. I was like, oh shit, I don't even know what I'm about to say.
Well, is there anything else that you want to go over?
Nah.
All right. Well, have a good rest of your day, bro. Hopefully
right.
you can tune into the streams and I can change your mind. Let's go to get that next guest up here. If you're part of the 12.8 thousand people watching the stream, first and foremost, make sure that you're double tapping. I can't believe we're already at 1 million likes. Second of all, make sure that you're sharing out this live with a handful of friends. And third of all, let's go ahead and drop a Maga down below in that chat if you'd like to come up and debate. Brianna, thank you for the galaxy. It's good to see you guys. It's good to see you, Brianna. All right, let's go and get that next guest up in the box right now. Quite frankly, we're going to go to get that next guest up in the box right now. That's right. We try to get Tony to load in. Tony doesn't want. Okay, Reese, last time you came up here, you told me that Cookie King mogs me. I did see that you actually wanted to debate in the chat. So how old are you?
Oh, I'm 18.
You're okay. Well, real quick, what year were you born in?
2007,
What month?
April.
April. Okay, you would be 18. Do you have a driver's license?
I do.
Okay, so what does it mean when you see a dotted yellow line next to a solid yellow line on the road? I'm sorry, I'm just asking this question for further
Yeah,
age
a
verification.
dotted yellow line next to a solid.
Yep.
That you can pass. I don't know, something like that.
Okay. I'm sorry, Reese. I'm not gonna believe that.
Wait,
you're
no,
18.
I swear.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to demonstrate. I do demonstrate an abundance of caution as it relates to minor safety in this life. So I'm gonna go to move on. What's going on? Do you support Trump?
No, I actually wanted to thank you.
Base, dude, I'm so sorry for kicking you. A, I don't think that the chat could hear you. And B, we are just looking for Trump supporters. But just know that I really appreciate you, man. Show some love. Guys, if you are in here, listen, we have like nearly 13,000 people. What is so crazy to me is we can't find one person to come up here and debate us on why they support Trump. I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know how. But, that's just how the cookie crumbles, quite frankly. Hello, Zach. Are you MAGA?
Put your vape away, mate.
I don't know what Zach said, but they definitely sound like a 13-year-old. So I'm just going to go to kick them and move on with my day. We got Lucas loading up in. Okay, honestly, guys, we're just going to start like spam accepting people. We're going to accept Lucas. We're going to accept Asher. We're going to accept Cross. Oh, man, look at this. We're going to get all the Trump supporters up in here. Let's try to get a full panel and do a 1v6. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? How about that? Okay, all right. What is going on in Rivian? Do you support Trump? Okay, they're not here. What about you, Asher? Do you support Trump?
100%.
Okay, how old are you?
18.
Okay, Cross, do you support Trump?
Yes.
How old are you?
16.
Okay, gotta be at least 18 to be the TikTok live. Kate Costello, do you support Trump?
I support Trump.
You sound British. Goodbye. Moving on to the next guest. Guys, let's try to get like at least 3 people up in here to debate. Taylor, are you MAGA?
No.
Oh, wow, sorry, gotta kick you. Harmony. Oh, Harmony's still loading in. All right, guys, gonna drop a MAGA down below in that comment section if you're at least 18 from America and want to come up here and debate me on why you support Trump. I say let's go to get a full panel. Let's do like a 1v5 or some shit. Jack.
Hello?
Jack, are you MAGA?
No, I'm not, but I just love your work.
I appreciate that, Jack. I appreciate that. Guys, please follow the rules just so, we can try to get the debates going. Please follow those rules, y'all. Please follow those rules. Let me know if you're MAGA down below in that comment section, guys. What's going on, new guest? Are you MAGA? Guess not, everybody. Look at that. Everybody is running. Jack, are you MAGA? Jack is actually gone. Okay. All right. Go back to spamming MAGA down below in that chat if you're at least 18 years old, support Trump, and want to come up here and have a debate. Here we go, everybody. We're going to get Ed up here. We're going to try to get everybody up in here. Lewis, what's up? Are you MAGA? What about you, Ed? Wow, okay, Asher, how does it feel to be like the only person out of like 13,000 people that's like actually willing to come up here and have a debate?
Great.
Great, yeah. Isn't it kind of crazy how like little...
Cookie King mogs you. Cookie King mogs you. He does.
Okay, go get a job, please. Swear to God.
He mogs you.
I didn't even kick them. Moving on to Arthur. Here we go, everybody. Just give us a minute. Go ahead and drop a MAGA down below in that chat if you would like to come up here. Arthur, what's going on? Are you MAGA?
Yeah.
Okay, how old are you?
Hi, how are you? I'm 19.
19. Okay, all right. Let's try to get one more person. Okay, guys? All right, we're going to do what we can do. What's going on, Cash? Are you MAGA?
Yeah.
Okay, how old are you?
18.
18. Okay, so we got like 2 18-year-olds, 1 19-year-old. I wish that, we had some like older people on here, Let's try to get an older person. We got Cactus loading in right now. Cactus, what's up? Are you MAGA? Okay, they got MAGA Mobile. I guess I'm just going to start it with the 3 of you guys. Go ahead and take it away. Tell us why you support Trump.
Pro-life. Abortion, immigration, and trans people.
Okay, so anybody else?
I really wanted to ask your opinion on something to do with, like, I guess Trump in a sense, because I'm joining the army and I wanted to see your opinion on, like, if people should join the military and whatnot, like, or, like, just your opinion on that.
Sure. I mean, I think that joining the military is fine. I mean, I don't care. Okay. All right. Asher and Arthur. Hello, Arthur. Are you here?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you one thing real quick. I've been following you for a while. I think you're doing great, to be honest. You're killing it.
Are you actually MAGA?
No, I'm so sorry. I just really wanted to tell you.
I'm sorry, man. I do appreciate you for the love. Okay, it looks like it's just you, Asher. So you said that you support Trump because you're pro-life. God, why are you pro-life, dude?
Because you shouldn't be killing the little babies inside the woman's stomach.
Why not? Oh, woman's stomach?
Or whatever you call it. You know what I mean.
What do you call it?
The womb.
The womb. Like, what is the medical term?
Well, I'm not like all into it, but it's unethical, not morally right.
Okay, all right. Why is it wrong, Asher?
I mean, I'm not going to call it murder, but I mean, these things could become full-grown adults. They could contribute to society, and I think it's wrong to kill them.
Okay, so if we definitely know that they won't contribute to society, you think it's okay to kill them?
Say that again?
If we know that they definitely won't contribute to society, you're okay with offing?
Well, I mean, who are you to say that? They won't.
I mean, you're supposed to be the one. Assuming that they won't contribute.
Yeah.
Then you're okay with killing them.
I guess, yeah.
Oh my God, what the fuck? Okay, so you're justifying.
Well, you're saying that they won't contribute.
So you just care about
But
like
it's
their future...
more safe to assume that they will.
So you just care about like their future contributions to society?
I mean, yeah, everything has value.
So I just want to get this one straight. Like if there's like a man and a woman living on a distant farm out in the woods, okay, and like the woman gets pregnant and they know that that child will never contribute to society because they don't live in society, and they know that that child won't help them personally because they won't allow it to. It is the case that you'd be okay with that woman getting an abortion. You wouldn't find anything morally wrong with that?
I mean, not really.
Okay, so then you don't find anything like intrinsically wrong with killing babies.
But that's just like a hypothetical. Like we know that.
Okay, so why does future societal contribution make you morally valuable?
Because it could like cure cancer. It could help everybody.
Okay, it could also be the next Hitler, right?
Well, yeah, but that's not going to happen though. We all know.
So then how do you know that it will be the one to cure cancer?
You're just saying hypothetical.
I mean, you're the one that said it might cure cancer.
Well, I guess, yeah, but it could become an adult. It could become a person, and you wouldn't kill that person, would you?
Right. So, yeah.
I mean, it's pro-life for a reason. Life.
So how about this? So see, the reason why I'm pro-choice is because I don't value a fetus until it has the ability to deploy any level of consciousness, which is like around 20 through 24 weeks. Before that point, I don't value it at all.
Well, no.
That's the best counter argument I've heard all day, man.
Well, no, everything has a value, and I think that the whatever you call it, fetuses have value, and you shouldn't kill them. Like you wouldn't kill a dog. It's not murder to kill a dog, but you wouldn't kill a dog. Everything has value. Those things have value.
Wait. If a dog is like ingressing upon like your rights, do you think? Oh wait, you want to kill? Wait, are you vegan?
No, but that's not a good argument.
Wait, why aren't you vegan? Like it's like you just told us that you want to kill a dog. Okay, so why would you kill a cow?
Well, I think a fetus has more value than a dog or something like that.
Is anybody like clear on what real quick? What year were you born in?
2007.
In what month?
May 4th. I just turned 18 actually.
Okay. How many holes do like women typically have below the waist?
2.
Okay. How about this?
Yeah.
How about you hold off on voting for any? How about you hold off on voting for like legislation that would like control and impact like a woman's body until like you're at least like I don't know.
Well,
like,
we can do
like
a different topic.
Sure. How about we do that?
Trans people. They should not be allowed in bathrooms.
Okay, so let me get this straight. So you didn't vote to make the country better. You didn't vote to make the quality of life for the average American any better than it already is. You voted just to further persecute, belittle, and oppress 0.1% of the American population, and which has personally never done anything to harm, hurt, or affect you whatsoever. I mean, honestly, I just think that is like a trend of bigotry that we've seen throughout history. Like if you were alive 50 years ago when the Overton window was a little bit different insofar as what it's socially acceptable to talk about, maybe you'd be up here talking about how you voted for the Grand Old Party to justify segregating black women from the women's restroom. You know what I mean? And maybe 50 years from now, when the Overton window shifts again and reason it's no longer socially permissible to justify voting for fascism just so you could persecute 0.1% of the population, your grandkids are going to look at you and be like, what the fuck were you talking about?
I don't think it's fair to say 0.1% when it's a growing thing. I mean, it's growing. There's going to be a lot more of them, and it's still wrong for them to be in bathrooms. That doesn't change the fact.
Well, how do you know that there's going to be more than 0.1% of the population that will be trans?
It's a growing community. You can't say that's wrong.
So do you think it's like a choice?
So eventually will be more than 0.1%.
So do you think it's like a choice?
Not really, but it's still growing.
Okay, how do you know it's growing?
Are you saying it's not?
Yeah, I'm saying that like the amount of trans individuals alive is not growing.
Well, I think that's more common sense.
So you don't have an argument. You're just saying it's common sense?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm here to hear arguments from people.
Well, okay, I didn't really think you would contest that. Okay, but let's say, okay, fine, it's not growing, but it's still wrong, though.
I'm just going to kick that guy. Let's go to get the next guest up here. If you're one of the 12,000 people in the live, guys, make sure that we're double tapping away on that phone screen, y'all. Everyone, just kind of give us a minute, y'all. Veteran, thank you so much for the $50 super chat over on the YouTube stream. I really appreciate you so much for the love, Veteran. Everybody, please show some love to Veteran down below. Veteran says, not many things to be proud of in my country, formerly known as America. I'm on my way out, but you, sir, are fighting for your generation. Mad respect, Veteran. You know I love you, y'all. If you're part of the 12.1 thousand people watching the stream, guys, show some love to Veteran down below in that chat, as well as Brooke. Thank you so much for the $10. I'd also like to thank Haley for the $20 over on PayPal and Megan for the 10. Shout out to Haley and Megan, alongside Chris for the $10 over on Venmo, Alexandria and Echo with a 5, and then Justin with a 5, and Taylor with a 15. Guys, thank you so much. And what is going on, Fitz? Do you support Trump?
I support Skibbity Toilet.
Okay, I'm like, job, please.
Oh, what the fuck?
King Nation, do you support Trump?
Yeah, I support Trump.
Cool. Before we hop into our conversation, gotta thank Mary for the $20 over on Venmo. Y'all show some love to Mary down below in the chat for the $20 donation. Now, Kings Nation, take it away. Why do you support the worst president of your lifetime?
Okay, well, I voted for him twice. But let me clarify a little bit. I really support whoever's going to expand the United States empire, right? And I felt between the two, Trump would be the best way to do it.
Oh yeah. Imperialism is good, right?
Yeah. My ancestors are a part of that. I'm here because of that.
Right. So
Bro,
like
you're
expanding
here because of it too.
listen. So expanding the empire, even if it's predicated on like the death, demise, and destruction of innocent people and innocent countries, it's still fine, right?
Hey, let me ask you this, right?
No,
Before
I just asked
answer
you a
that-
question.
Yeah. And I'm gonna answer it, and I'm gonna say like this, right? Are you white?
Yeah,
Because your ancestors are the reason you're here today, right? And did they not do that?
They did.
It was okay.
They did.
It is okay then. It's okay.
Oh, okay. So if there's an action which led to my existence today, it's necessarily okay. So let me ask you a question. If there's a man that grapes a woman that leads to a pregnancy, and she goes through that pregnancy, which leads to a person like you or I, does that justify the original circumstance of grape?
No, it doesn't sit with me morally to grape somebody.
Oh, but the
it is
action,
it-
but
it
the
is
action of
okay.
grape
Hold
led
on,
to
hold
them
on.
being here today.
It is okay to unalive somebody if you're conquering another area to further our line.
Okay, why?
That's okay.
Why? So why is
Because-
it okay? So why is it not okay to grape somebody to further your quote unquote line, but it is okay to unalive somebody to further your line?
Hold on. I don't know what the heck happened. Raping people morally just does not sit right with me. But taking over,
but killing
over
people
their
does?
country- yes, in the name of expanding our
Why?
what
So
we
tell
are.
me the relevant distinction. So graping people to expand what we are, that's not okay, but killing people to expand what we are, that is okay. Right? Well, I mean, I fail to see like a relevant difference. Okay, they're both very grave human rights violations. So I think that you're going to need to give us the distinction between these grave human rights violations that justifies one but not the other.
Yeah, I think everybody in here can agree that raping people is bad.
Right?
I think we can
just
all
like
agree to
just
that,
like
right?
everybody in
Morally.
here could agree that murdering innocent people is bad.
No, because I would disagree.
Okay. Well, I'm going to remove you from the space because you're a goddamn threat to society.
Oh, so Trump.
Moving on to the next guest. You're a goddamn threat to society. I can't even believe he just said that. Like, that's some Hitler shit. No. Like, don't listen to me closely. That is some Hitler shit. That is some Nazi shit. Okay. I disagree. I don't think it's wrong to murder an innocent. Hey, what's going on? Do you support Trump?
I do.
How old are you?
I'm 19.
19. What year were you born in?
2005.
Cool. Before we hop into a debate, got a couple people to thank. Give me one moment. First and foremost, Ego. Thank you for the $10 over on YouTube Super Chat. Appreciate that so much. I'd also like to thank Madison for the $15 over on PayPal. Madison says, hi, love what you do. I'd love to see a live open up to like-minded people for some good conversation about current events. I agree. We're going to be doing that soon. As well as Briley. Thank you so much for the $25 over on Venmo. They say, you're a huge inspiration. I'm a young liberal in a MAGA family, and I watch your debate lives every day, and they give me hope. Dude, so am I. Young liberal in a MAGA family. I get it, Briley. I'm so sorry. And thank you for the kind words and $25. And then Maya, M-A-I-A, with the $20, saying don't announce live. Okay, I will not read that out loud, but I will read it personally. Thank you for the $20, Maya. And take it away, man. Why do you support Trump?
To be honest, I support him because I think he's the lesser of two evils. And I'll go on about that later. But truthfully, I'm a Christian. And that's what I choose whenever I go to vote somebody is lesser of two evils. I'm pro-life. So I'll go ahead and say that. I really like what he's doing, to be honest.
Hey, I have a question. Do you agree with Romans where it says that all sins fall short of the glory of God?
All sins. Well, the thing is if you read the Bible more, let's be honest here, who died for our sins?
You're going to answer my question. The answer to your question is Jesus, okay? But not
Yes.
relevant to the question I asked you. Once again, do you agree with the Bible in Romans where it's like all sins fall short of the glory of God, all sins are identical in the eyes of God?
Well, theoretically, yes, absolutely.
So if all sins are identical in the eyes of God outside of blasphemy, and you want to run our criminal justice system in our state predicated on the moral foundations and standards of the Bible, well, I mean, how could you say that we should legislate on something like abortion and ban it, but we shouldn't legislate on something like lying, like telling your children that Santa Claus exists, if those are both sins that violate
I'm
the
gonna be honest
commandments that are
with
viewed
you,
identically in the eyes of God?
All the Santa Claus stuff and stuff like that. I mean, that is lying. I mean, it's the truth. But the whole thing of Christmas is to celebrate the birth of Jesus. At least it is for my family. And I know that necessarily Christmas isn't the day that Jesus was born.
So do you think that it should be illegal to tell your children that Santa Claus exists?
No, I don't think it should be illegal by any
So then why should it be illegal for a woman to get an abortion? If you're going to run the state...
so hear me out.
Listen to what I'm saying. Don't interrupt me. Hear me out. I'm going to slow down as well. If you're going to run the state on the basis of Christian moral beliefs and principles, and you agree that in according with Christian moral beliefs and principles, all sins fall short of the glory of God and are viewed identically in his eyes, this just means that your standard of morality would view the sin of lying identical to the sin of abortion. And if we want to be able to use this standard to justifiably run and operate a criminal justice system and reform our legislation, how can we yield the conclusion that we should not legislate on telling your children that Santa Claus exists, but we should legislate on a woman's access to abortion? See, it is absolutely incoherent to legislate on the foundational beliefs of the Christian religion, and this is why I support a separation between the church and the state, and you should too.
Gotcha. So, I mean, I agree to that. I agree to your point to an extent. I'm going to go ahead and say this. So I said I was pro-life, and I am. I'm pro-life. I don't think you should be able to just abort a baby that's innocent or anything like that. Now, this is where I want to go ahead and abbreviate. And I know you disagree with me, and that's completely fine. We have a right to own our views.
You're pissing me off.
Okay, but listen. What I think is genuinely a woman should have the choice if and when it's a health issue and they are at risk of dying. That's a whole different circumstance. I think they should have a choice to abort the baby. If, let's say, the baby's going to born and be dead, I think that's a whole different situation. Obviously, of course. If there's going to be any sort of say the baby's going to be born and going to have a heart disease or a really bad case and would die in a few days or something like that, that's a whole different scenario. Or if it's rape, I don't think that should be.
You're upsetting me. Would you like to know why?
Yeah, go right ahead.
I've given you an argument twice to demonstrate that your argument is completely incoherent, and you haven't addressed it, acknowledged it, or responded to it. If we're going to engage in a conversation, please address and acknowledge and respond to what I said.
Okay, but see, here's the thing. I'm not a pro debater. You go around and debate people on a basis. I'm just asking and telling you my point of view to kind of give you an idea of what I believe.
Okay, well, I appreciate you for giving me an idea of what you believe, but once you've shared that idea, and then we debate it, right? And by debating it, you tell me what you believe, and then I respond and debunk it. And that's kind of what I did, as I demonstrated how it's absolutely incoherent to justify and run criminal justice system on the basis of the Bible, and you didn't really respond. Also, a lot of the people in my comment sections are saying that you're under 18.
I'm not. I'm in college. I'm at Texas A&M University. I actually know that whenever you came to A&M here, that you didn't have very many people in the crowd. And I'm not saying that's necessarily a hate against you or anything like that, but I know that. I know that Charlie Kirk was there and all that whole situation. I wasn't. I didn't go to that.
Sure. Tell me about the founder of Texas A&M.
The President Welsh. So President Welsh is the president now. The founder of Texas A&M is actually Sully. We call him Sully, and we actually have a statue out in front of Texas.
I think that he's under 18, and it doesn't really matter. Even like according to you guys in the chat, you're saying that he's a minor, and it says so on his Instagram. I'm just gonna believe you. Hello, Sids. Are you MAGA?
I am. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Before we hop into our debate, I got to thank a couple people. Chris, thank you for the $20 super chat over on YouTube. Chris says, very evident that he didn't read the Bible. 1 out of 5 Americans read not too well. I want to be friends also because I'm an AZ and have no decent humans around me. Chris, I appreciate you for tuning in, and thank you so much for the $20 donation, as well as Nina. Thank you for the $10 saying, tired of men using Jesus to dictate what women should and shouldn't do with their bodies. I couldn't agree more. CJ, thank you for the $2 over on PayPal. Thank you so much. I do really appreciate that, CJ. I'd also like to thank, let's see here. Everyone just give us a minute. Alexandria for the $5 on Venmo. Now, if you're watching and you'd like to support me and support the stream, you can find my Venmo, my PayPal, and the link tree in my bio. You get 100% of the proceeds over on those platforms. They'll go straight to me, as well as you could attach a message that I could read out to everybody watching. If you're watching on YouTube and you'd like to support me, my Venmo and PayPal are in the pinned message in the chat, as well as in the link in the video description. Now, take it away, Sids. Tell us why you support Trump, the worst president of your life.
I wouldn't say he's the worst president of our life, but if you want to go there, we can go there. I would definitely say the border was a huge thing with this president election, especially just because kids were getting raped by illegals and other terrifying things that are just shouldn't happen with our country in general. So I think border security is very important.
Yeah, for sure. Could you give me an instance of an undocumented immigrant raping a child?
I mean, it happened all throughout the border. I mean, you can look it up and you can see multiple instances. I don't need to list them out to you.
I mean, I think it's your argument. I'm just curious. Can you name one?
I mean, on the top of my head, no. But if you did look it up and you did do your research, I could see multiple. I don't have
Do you
anything
feel like
on top of my
where
head right
do you
now.
feel like you heard this from?
I look at a lot of different news sites. I obviously educate myself with both Fox, CNN, and other news sites just to educate myself as well, because I am a female that is supporting a male in office, and
So you care about people. So you care about people getting raped, right?
Absolutely. I mean,
So then why did you vote for a rapist?
what exactly do you mean?
I mean that Donald Trump was held civilly liable for the violent sexual abuse and/or rape of E. Jean Carroll. And I guess I should also add on here, so we're not just spreading misinformation. Undocumented immigrants are 2.5 times less likely to commit violent crimes like rape compared to natural U.S.-born citizens. So if you're concerned with violent crime, maybe you should start by targeting the demographic of individuals who are most likely to do it, which would be American citizens. But let's sidebar that. Tell us
I
why you're
do have a
willing that cares
question
about
now.
rape, that justified voted for a rapist?
I come from a military family.
Right.
Both my dad and my grandfather served for the country. And they were seeing people that they served with homeless on the streets. And we are actively giving illegal immigrants housing when we are not serving our Americans that have served for this country. And I just don't understand how that is okay.
Right, Sid. So first and foremost, you are completely ignoring my point that you pretend to care about grape, but then you put a grapist in the Oval Office. But we'll sidebar that too, because I want to respond to this point. What benefits for housing are undocumented immigrants eligible for from the federal government?
I mean, they're given most of them are given different areas to live after crossing the border illegally.
Like Section 8?
And I have a Hispanic family
Are you just talking about Section 8?
Yes.
Okay, so undocumented immigrants are not eligible for Section 8.
Well, you see it. I mean, it's happening. I mean, then why
are you talking about like the undocumented immigrants in like the Roosevelt Hotel in New York?
I mean, if you want to say that, sure.
Yeah, so they're actually not undocumented immigrants. They're legal immigrants. They're asylum seekers. And the only reason why the state provides them housing is because for the first 6 to 12 months of their residency, they're not legally eligible to work. That'd be pretty shitty for us to take in refugees who are running away from persecution and death just to tell them that we're going to dump them on the streets and not give them the legal ability to work, right?
I mean, yeah, it's not really, if you're going to dump someone who fought for a country on the streets, and then I don't.
Okay.
I just think that's
really that's
just
terrible.
messed
So we
up.
need to provide for the homeless. Name one thing that the GOP has ever done for homeless Americans.
I don't know. I don't have that on the top of my head. Again,
I
I'm
can name
not
a couple
trying to
things that
come
the
off
Democrats have
rude.
done
I'm
off the
not
top of my
trying
head,
to
like food
attack you by
stamps,
any means.
EBT,
I'm not.
Section 8.
I want to be as like transparent as possible, but I'm just trying to also understand that like there are real things happening, and some things aren't seen on the news. Like a lot of things aren't, and I feel like the news also portrays things that are false. And it honestly, you have to go to biased news sites and things like that to understand.
Okay, all right. That's I agree. Non-biased news. That's great. That's great. That's great. I just want to further hone into what you just said. Can you tell me anything that Trump has done or wants to do for low-income Americans?
I mean, personally, I'm middle class, so I don't really know. I feel like I would have to talk to someone that was experiencing it to know and understand.
Okay.
I'm not under 18. Everyone's saying that in the comments. I'm 21 years old, but thanks.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, let's go back to the point that I brought up earlier. So, I mean, the first thing that you said when you joined this live is how much disdain you hold for undocumented immigrants since they rape children. Well, I think if you were like truly like an advocate against harm to women and harm to children, you wouldn't have voted for Trump. The reason why I say this is because once again, a court determined that Donald Trump was guilty of raping a woman, alongside the fact that he's like openly boasted about perving on like naked teenagers while they were naked and changing in their changing rooms. I mean, he's like a 10-year-old girl. He's
Then if you guys say you guys are pro women, I could say the same thing back at you guys about abortions. I mean, the kid could be a female as well, and you're killing them. Like I get having certain abortion bans, but I don't feel like you can have it whenever and late in the stage of a pregnancy. I don't think that's okay. If you're going to support women, you're also going to support unborn that are still in.
So what's a woman?
It has X. Why do I don't know why I have to explain this to you. How do you not know what a woman is? That's another thing with your party. It's like I don't understand.
I mean, to be fair, you're the one that can't define the term. I mean, like, assuming like your position would be that a woman is an adult human female. So like fetuses can't be women because they can't be adults.
They can be a gender.
So they could be male or female. Yeah.
Yeah. Correct. Which a girl
so you think that
will
like
become a woman one
you
day.
think that abortion is like anti-female because it kills females?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it does. I mean,
so why do you think it's wrong to kill a fetus? Or I guess more so, why do you think abortion's wrong?
Because it's eventually going to grow into a person that can withstand not being attached to an umbilical cord.
Right. Okay. So because of what it could be in the future. So, like the sperm and the egg that inevitably became you. I mean, they could have been you, a person that wasn't attached and sustained by an umbilical cord in the future. Does that mean it would have been wrong to kill that sperm and egg?
I mean, if you look at a baby, they still depend on their parents. So it could be the same argument.
So are you saying that your logic implies
you're
that it's okay to
attached
kill
doesn't
newborns?
mean like you need help or you need assistance. I mean,
okay, well, my argument isn't that it's okay to kill a fetus because it's attached to the woman. My argument is that it's okay to kill a fetus because I can't identify any traits of the fetus in which I should find to be morally relevant. I mean, what about the fetus matters, right?
It being alive? What do you mean? Why does it matter?
Are you a vegan?
Why does that matter?
Because you just told us that biological life gives you the right to life.
I'm not a vegan.
Okay, so you don't think that merely being alive makes you matter. Okay, so what is it?
What's what?
Like, what is it about the fetus that gives it the right to live?
I think there are some instances, and I will say that, like rape and other things that I feel like are not portrayed as much as they should be, but that's a very small fraction. I feel like if you perform a certain action, that it could have consequences, and those consequences you have to be okay with.
Right.
And
Can
that's what
we,
also.
can we talk about that principle that you just detailed to us super duper quickly?
Sure.
So you just said if you perform an action that could yield consequences, and it does yield those consequences, you got to deal with those consequences. That's your argument, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you perform a certain action, you have to know the outcome of the action before you perform it. Yes.
Right. And if that outcome occurs, you got to deal with it. You got to see it through, correct?
Absolutely. I mean, if I got pregnant, I'm 21 years old, a college student, I would follow through on that 100%.
Right. So check this out. If I perform the action of smoking a cigarette, knowing it can run the consequence of giving me lung cancer, and it does, do I have to deal with that lung cancer, just toughen up, or should I be able to go to a medical health professional and get treatment to kill it?
Sorry, can you repeat that? I couldn't hear you for half of it.
Sure. I mean, you just told us that if you perform an action that, could yield a certain outcome, you got to deal with that outcome. So basically, if somebody smokes a cigarette knowing that could give them lung cancer, if they do get lung cancer, they got to deal with that lung cancer. It's not like you think they should be legally allowed to go to the hospital and get chemotherapy or anything, right?
I mean, that's a totally different argument. That's about health. I mean, unless it's affecting your health. Again, if a child was affecting my health, if it was between me and the baby, I would obviously want myself to live. But what I'm saying,
would you say
life or death?
Oh, so if it's not life or death, so if that lung cancer developed by smoking a cigarette, maybe had like a 5% chance of killing you, do you think it should be legal for you to go get chemotherapy?
Yeah, you're allowed to.
Great. Well, pregnancy actually has around a 5% chance of killing you.
Okay, what I'm saying is if the person holding the child, like I said before, has any risk during the pregnancy where the doctor says it's you or the baby, I do respect that you would have to let go of that baby, like I said before.
Oh, okay. So basically, if it's like more likely than not that it's going to kill you, then you don't have to deal with the outcome. So let's assume that this lung cancer developed by smoking a cigarette maybe only has a 40% chance of killing you. It's not more likely than not. You think that they should not be legally allowed to get chemotherapy?
And well, I'm not even talking about chemotherapy, so I don't really know why you're bringing that up.
Sure, because it falls under your principle. Once again, your principle was...
No, it doesn't fall under my principle because cancer is different than a pregnancy at the end of the day. I mean...
So you're basically telling me that the cells of a fetus are different than cells of cancer. Would you say the difference is that the cells of the fetus are morally valuable and the cells of the cancer are not?
Cancer is a bad thing, and pregnancy can be interpreted as a good thing or a bad thing, depending on the situation you're in.
Okay, so you're basically saying if a woman interprets it as a bad thing, then they should be able to get an abortion? Well, I got news to tell you. That's why women get abortions.
Again, like I said, if it was early enough, I do support that, like I said before, or if you got raped or other outstanding circumstances that are literally less than 1%, I think, of abortions in general.
So you said it's early enough. What's your cutoff?
I would say about 12 weeks.
Okay, so what happens at 12 weeks that makes you change your perspective from saying that a woman should be able to get an abortion to the
It's just different stages in general. Like,
okay, so like, what's the different, like, I know that it's going to be a different stage. What's the relevant distinction in the development of the fetus that makes it valuable at 12 weeks?
I would say the growth and
what about the growth?
That even babies in the womb have certain feelings.
Okay. Guess what? If you were being logically consistent, you'd actually be pro-choice. Here's why. Because you're telling us that something about a baby having any feelings at all makes it morally relevant, and that's what makes abortion wrong. Well, guess what? Sentience, the ability to have subjective experiences, and then later the ability to feel, experience pain, that's developed at 20 through 24 weeks, right? And that's the current understanding that neurobiologists across the globe uphold. So if you were truly consistent in your position, that you only begin to care about the fetus when it has the ability to feel itself, this would mean that you think women should have legal access to elective abortions until 20 to 24 weeks. And funny enough, that is the position of Roe v. Wade, the policy that Kamala Harris ran on codifying through government, through Congress.
Sorry, I'm reading these comments. Okay, I mean, honestly, again, like I said, I'm feel better about it if it's within a certain time frame or if
Is there anything
an
else?
outstanding thing
Is there anything
happened,
else
like I
about
said before.
anything
But it's
else?
more of a religious thing for me that I wouldn't do it. So,
Great.
yeah.
Is there anything else that you want to talk about? I feel like we've kind of, tired it out on abortion. I don't know if we're going to get anywhere.
Oh, I mean, there's nothing else I want to talk about. I just wanted to get on here and
For sure.
honestly just learn things as well. Like, I feel like we're always in a state of learning and understanding. And even if I don't fully understand that side, I do have parts of me that are somewhat liberal. So I do like to know both sides.
Okay, before you leave, please respond to the one thing I've been trying to get you to respond to this whole time. The very first thing that you said when you came up here was what? Undocumented immigrants are raping children. Explain to me why you voted for an adjudicated rapist.
I just honestly, I thought both candidates were not the best, just in general. And like I said before, I support Trump more than I do Kamala.
What
but
has
it's
Kamala
not.
Harris done that's morally comparable to raping a woman?
I mean, I think this has been brought up many times before in this. I've joined your live before, but sleeping to the top. I mean, that's just honestly.
Great.
As a female,
Yeah.
I don't think that's like totally acceptable, especially because I am
a woman
again, like
having
I said,
sex
I do
is worse
support.
than a woman getting raped.
I never said it's worse. You're putting words in my mouth,
morally
like I said
comparable.
before.
Sure. So
It's-
morally comparable.
it's-
I have a question. Who did she
I'm
sleep
talking
with?
about policies, not personalities. It's the policies that people
You just
portray.
talked about her personality. You think that she slept to the top. That's obviously not
Oh,
one of the
100%.
policies.
Oh, that's just one of the things that I don't like about her.
So tell me, who did she sleep with to get to the top?
I mean, how do you not know?
Well, I think I know the name that other Republicans have said, but I don't know the name that you might say. So who did she sleep with?
I'm not doing this whole thing because you were on fucking Jubilee and I'm not like entertaining this.
You're not entertaining. just
Willie
like a very
Willie
simple-
Brown,
Willie Brown. And who
yeah.
who is Willie Brown?
He's a politician from California.
Specifically, like in what role in government did he serve?
I mean, I don't know the specifics,
I do.
but
He was the ex-mayor of San Francisco. What state do you live in?
I live in North Carolina.
North Carolina. Can you name like a handful of cities that are in North Carolina real quick?
Yeah, Raleigh, Wilmington, Charlotte.
Could you name a mayor of any of those cities?
No.
You have no fucking clue who the mayor is. I don't know. Maybe that's fair. I don't know the mayor of any cities in my state either. And, politics is my full-time job. So please tell me how 40 million people from California voted for Kamala Harris to be the AG of the state, all because of she's somebody that was in a relationship with an ex-mayor of one city, okay? You can't name a mayor of a single city in your state, but you're telling me that 40 million people from California not just knew who this ex-mayor was, but respected them enough to vote for a candidate that was in a relationship with him 10 years ago? Really? Come on, that's ludicrous.
I mean, I feel like the only reason she was in office because Biden made her vice president. I mean,
before she was vice president, she was AG of the state of California. She was DA of San Francisco as well. She served as an attorney, and she was the senator of the state of California for a term from 2017 to 2020.
Okay, again, I'm not trying to argue with you. I just wanted to put my points out there again.
But do you see how I disputed and
getting
disproved?
information from you as well? I mean, I watch so many debates online, and I just see so many things, and I always try to learn as well. So this is not me attacking anyone or.
I mean, do you see? Can we agree that it's fair to say that I completely disputed your belief that she slept her way to the top? Because
I mean,
it's kind of outrageous to think that 40 million people from California voted for her to
with a
be
politician
AG.
that's in power. I mean, that's not disputing anything. So.
But you're saying that she slept with him to get votes to be AG, to be senator, when you can't name a single mayor from any town in your state. So how can you expect 40 million people that voted for, not just to be able to name Willie Brown, who wasn't even a current mayor, he was an ex-mayor, but have enough respect to him to vote for somebody that he slept with? And how would they even know that she slept with him?
Because it's all, I mean, it's all
right. Like how could like ex-mayor Willie Brown of one town have a material impact on the outcome of her like nomination and run for the AG or senator of the entire state?
okay. I don't know what to.
Yeah,
I have no rebuttal for you. I mean, I gave you my points, and I'm done with the. Yeah.
Did you know
you
that
can
like
kick me.
did you know that like propagating the like narrative, like the only reason why this woman was in a position of power is because she slept with a man, like actively harms you too? Like I mean, like when you accept that as a fact, you're only further like shifting the Overton window into what is like permissible to discuss, and now you're saying it's permissible to discuss how women can't be qualified and they have to rely on men to be in positions of power. Well, I mean, guess
not
what
at
that
all.
means.
Because I would
Do you
have.
want to
I
excel in your
voted for a
career?
female.
Do you want to excel in your career?
Thought...
Okay, well, if you do excel in whatever your future career is, you're basically saying that it's going to be totally acceptable, permissible to say that the only reason you're there, given that you're a woman, is because you slept with a man. And guess what? That claim would be just as valid as your claim. The only reason Kamala Harris got into positions of power is because she slept with a man. Right? It personally impacts you. Like, why do you spew BS that it can personally hurt you too?
I would have voted for a female. It's not about female or males. Like I said before, it has nothing to do
with that
with
argument totally was. Your argument straight up was like just internal like sexism, yeah.
I mean, a guy could have slept to the top as well. It has nothing to do with being female or male.
Okay,
like
name a man that slept his way to the top.
I don't have I'm just saying if she was a man and she did the same thing, I would have said the same thing. It's not about being a woman.
What did she do specifically that makes you think she slept her way to the top? Like, what did she do that leads you to the conclusion that the only reason 40 million people voted?
I didn't say that was the only reason yet, but okay. I mean,
just like a reason at all. Honestly, how could you even say that's a reason at all?
Because she slept with a politician. What do you mean? How is that not a reason?
And how did sleeping with Willie Brown make her the senator of the state?
I didn't say that made her. I just said that was probably one of the reasons she got to that position. That's all.
Okay, so explain that to me.
I don't need to explain it. I told you I'm done with this debate. I gave you my reasoning, and
You can't even call it a debate if you're not willing to explain your view.
I already debated with you for the last 10 minutes. I'm okay.
Okay, you're done?
I'm good, yeah.
Cool. I hope that you end up becoming a more intelligent person and you change your mind, because the beliefs in which you just quote unquote debated me on are like shit that can actively impact you too. Because, let's not forget that you're a woman, and like those beliefs, those statements, those attitudes, like saying the only reason why women can be in positions of power is because they fucked him in. Those hurt women. Okay, that's a category that includes you. Okay, right? So we're going to move on to the next guest. If you're part of the 14.6 thousand people in that TikTok stream and you'd like to come up on the stream and have a conversation with me about why you support Trump, do let me know down below. We'll get you up here. Brianna, thank you so much for the motorcycle. I really appreciate you so much for that love and kindness. But yeah, we're going to get that next guest up in the box right now, y'all. Just looking for that next guest. As well as Manta, thank you for the $7 over on PayPal. Caitlin, thank you for the 5. And Maria, thank you for the 15. Maria says, love your stuff. Big fan of what you do. Thank you, Maria. Show some love to Maria down below in that chat, y'all. Show some love to Maria down below in that chat. As well as Sophia with the $3 on PayPal. And Mackenzie with a 1. What's going on, man? How old are you?
I'm 18.
Nice. What year are you born in?
2007.
Are you MAGA?
Yes, sir.
Before we hop into your debate, I got to thank Shaylin for the $25 on Venmo. They say, I hope you run for office someday. Maybe one day, Shaylin. Thank you for the love. Huge shout out to Shaylin for the 25. And also Shannon with the $10 saying from my daughter Peyton in California. Shout out Shannon and her daughter Peyton. Thank you guys so much. And take it away, man. Tell us why you support the worst president of your 18 years of life.
Not the worst president. There's a bunch of other worst presidents. But all I wanted to say to you, Dean, was you a pussy and you a femboy. Get the fuck on somewhere. If you don't like it here, then fucking do something.
You're going to run away. You're going to leave as soon as you're done talking. And it's going to make you a beta male. I'm predicting the future.
I don't got to leave. I don't got to leave.
You're going to do it. You're going to leave. I just know you.
Why would I leave?
Because that's what people do every time. They come up here, they talk shit. You know that I'm going to embarrass the fuck out of you if you stick around to hear what I have to say. So then you just leave.
Say something.
Yeah, for
What you
sure.
gotta
You're
say?
calling me a pussy femboy. Okay, sir.
Yeah.
What the fuck is a? Why? What do you?
Your balls ain't
Where's this
even
even
dropped.
coming?
Your balls ain't even dropped.
Hey,
Look, you can hear
real
it in your
quick.
voice.
What race are you?
I'm black. What the fuck? What you gotta say about it?
Yeah, no. The only reason I asked you is because you said the N word. Wanted to make sure that you weren't like a little white boy running around saying the N word. So, anyways, what's a femboy? Also, I wouldn't recommend saying the N word on TikTok. It'll get you banned. All right.
You're a very feminine man. That's what it means.
A very feminine man.
Yes, sir.
What about me is feminine?
Your voice ain't even dropped. It sounds like
my
your balls
voice.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure. I'm not gonna lie, man. I think if we did like a side-by-side decibel comparison of our voices, I think my voice would be deeper than yours. So I'm not sure what would lead you to that conclusion.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
I'm just seriously just talking about like decibels and registry of pitch. I think like my voice is a slightly lower pitch than yours.
Slightly lower? Nah, you definitely tripping. You
Okay, I have a
definitely
high
tripping.
voice. Okay.
So,
what
Dean, where you
else?
from? Where you from?
I'm from Colorado, but I want to stay on the femboy point. So you think I'm a femboy because I have a high voice? Anything else?
Yeah, you ain't got no jawline. That's another sign of low testosterone. There's a lot of there's a lot of shit that points it to you. You really don't believe in any masculine values. You don't know what the fuck you talking about. You say fucked up points that don't even mean nothing. It's like there's a lot of shit I can keep on naming.
Okay. So high voice, no jawline. Have you seen me?
Yeah, I'm looking at you right now, stupid.
Okay, I haven't heard the jawline one before. I mean, just like
You can-
examining
you can
like my
look it up.
bone structure. I do
You
have
can
like a
look it
pretty
up.
sharp jawline.
Men with no jawline, that's a sign of low testosterone.
Yeah, I think I have a jawline.
You're definitely not.
Can I see your jawline?
Don't try and poke it out right now.
Can I see your jawline?
You can go on my Instagram, shout me out. It's the same thing as my.
Could you just turn on your camera? I mean,
How you do that?
So I mean, I could send you an invitation. Thank you for the meteor shower. I can't send you an invitation because somebody sent me a gift. Okay. Thank you so much for the invitation. That's very kind of you. Oh, guess what? You don't have enough followers to even turn your camera on. How unfortunate.
Because I don't be on TikTok debating like your ass, bro. What the fuck?
Okay.
You're a professional TikTok debater.
Okay. All right. Anyways, so I think when people call me a femboy, in all reality, I'm not even gonna get into that. I can't even say that. Never mind. I'm just gonna choose to ignore those comments. I mean,
Are you muting my mic for?
Yes, I am muting your mic. Yes.
Pussy. Straight up.
How many continents are there?
There's what? Are you stupid? You don't know how many continents there are?
I don't. Inform me.
There's 7 continents in the fucking world.
Well, I'm surprised you could. I'm surprised that he could answer that. We're gonna go to move on to the next guest, everybody. We got Brody coming up, and I don't know. I was gonna keep him up, maybe like debate him. Nah, not worth my time. What's up, Brody? How old are you?
I'm 23.
Also, I'm just seeing the chat now. You guys are saying he was white. Dude, are you serious? Did he lie about being black? If so, that's like, dude, come on, be better. Brody, how old did you say you were?
I'm 23.
23. So, yeah, why do you support Trump?
Well, really, Dean, I just got on here to just talk to you for a few minutes. I support Trump because he's more on the. I'm a big conservationist as far as wildlife and stuff goes, and I feel like he was more along the lines of doing that for me as a hunter, and more than Kamala Harris.
Wait, I'm sorry. Could you repeat
Democrats.
that? I'm sorry, man. I was spaced.
Do what?
Could you repeat that? I'm sorry. I was spaced out.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. Why do you say that you support Trump? I was spaced out.
Because he just is more of a. I felt that felt. Okay, let's get that first. That he was more of on the conservationalist side. I'm a big conservationalist myself.
Bruh! No! Did you see the
as
EO?
far as-
Dude, your fucking stomach must have dropped. You like your fucking heart must have fell out of your body when he passed that
it did,
executive
it
order
did.
to allow like
did,
a
absolutely.
billion trees on like federal land to get chopped down.
Yeah, I'm sorry, dude. It did absolutely.
Right.
I was like,
do you still support him?
Not as much so on that. No.
Okay, bro. So do you consider yourself MAGA?
Partially.
Okay, why are you MAGA?
Part of me. Man, if you really want me to be honest with you, I didn't even think I was going to get in here. but probably just I wasn't as educated as I thought I was, and that's my fault.
Brody, honestly, man, I think the perfect space for you to be is watching the live. I appreciate you for live stream. If you hang out in the comment section and see what I have to say compared to being on it, man. What's going on, Lucas? Sorry, not Lucas. Dylan. What's up? Are you MAGA?
I am Amanda. Sorry, I didn't know I was in.
Do you support Trump?
I'm Dylan. I just turned 18, graduated high school not that long ago. I would consider myself moderate as of right now, but I did like Trump more than Kamala.
Okay, all right. Well, let's talk about it.
I did have a question for you, though.
Well, before you ask that question, I got a couple of people to thank. Isabella, thank you for the $20 over at PayPal. Isabella says, "Hi, I joined your live and yelled I love you yesterday." Melissa, sorry. Isabella, thank you for the $20. That is incredibly kind of you. As well as Kiana, thank you for the $20 as well, saying keep cooking, Chef D, and I'll never stop cooking, quite frankly. As well as Christine, oh my God, says no need to shout me out. Okay, all right, I'm not going to shout you out because you said that, but just know that I fucking love you. Shout out to C, y'all. Shout out to C. Thank you so much. I mean that seriously. You know who you are and you know what you did. Taylor, thank you for the $10 on PayPal. And Mimi, thank you so much for the motorcycle. Take it away, Dylan. Tell us why you think that Trump is a good president.
I had a different question related to that, if that's okay with you. It's not directly related to Trump.
Oh,
so
I don't know. Ask the question. Let's see what I think.
When it comes to like how divided the political sides are now, like there's whole MAGA, everyone was supported Kamala, everything like that. Do you think there's a specific reason, like why now everything's so divided?
Yeah, Trump.
You don't think it's because of media or because of how like fast technology is growing? Like there's no reason that could cause it. It was just Trump.
I don't know. Maybe like there's other causal factors, but like the main one by like far is Trump. Yeah, for sure.
Do you know when like, I don't know what the right word would be. When did becoming like transgender become like a thing? Like when were we scientifically able to do that? Do you know?
So trans people have existed for as long as people have existed.
I know, but
I appreciate you for coming up. You said that you had like one question. I answered your one question. Then you asked the second question. We're gonna try to
Cookie King mogs the shit out of you, little bro. 5'1", buddy.
Hey, Tony, guess what? I'm a job application. Boom! Oh, scared you! Oh my God, it's Halloween! Oh, scared you! Oh my God, we're gonna move on to the next guest. Let us know if you're MAGA down below in that comment section. We're gonna get you up on the live to debate. Y'all go to drop a MAGA down below. All right. Let us know if you're MAGA. We're gonna get you up in here, y'all. Just looking for that next guest. Somebody in the chat said cringe AF. Yeah, dude, that was so fun. That guy was so cringy. I couldn't agree with you more. What's up, Frosty? Do you support Trump?
Yes.
Age?
I'm 12, but can you hear me out? I'm
not my God, you're 12, dude. Don't let them rot your brain, dude. Okay, listen to me. I'm gonna say one thing to 12-year-old. Then please scroll. Go like watch some Roblox videos. I'm not even kidding. I'm not even joking. Go live your life, bro. Don't even worry about politics, and don't believe any of the shit your stuff. Okay, class 12-year-olds in the building. Don't believe anything your parents say either, okay? Just like sit back, play Roblox, don't think about government, don't think about politics, live your life and play games and hang out with friends. Okay, all right. What's up, Lena? How old are you?
Hey, Dean, I'm 32.
Do you support Trump?
Hell no, I don't.
W Lena! Show some love to Lena down below in that comment section. I do apologize for removing you, but we are just looking for a debate. Honestly, we have not had a debate for a little bit now. Show some love to Lena down below in that comment section, as well as Deanna. Thank you for the $10 over on YouTube Super Chat. Thank you for your hard work. I appreciate you so much for your kind message. What's going on, Lang? Do you support Trump? Langston, you're in the live. All right. Obviously, like, there's 14,000 people in the TikTok live stream right now, and there's not one person that's willing to come up here and debate me. What a sad day. What a sad day, guys. If you want to see some debates, if you want to try to draw more MAGA and Trump supporters in here to debate, just go ahead and like that live. Share it out with a couple friends. Let's try to boost it in the For You page. Y'all already know. What's up, Mr. Cross? Do you support Trump?
Okay. I have a question, though. Like, I've been wondering this, and I want to know if you know the answer to it.
How old are you?
19.
Oh, fuck. I kicked them. Yo, if you're MAGA, requests. I'm not gonna lie. I thought that you said something under the age. Honestly, you were probably still lying. I don't know. I kicked them. I thought that they said, I was just so totally ready to hear like 12. So I just preemptively kicked them. Let's go to get the next guest, guys. Why are we only getting fetuses? Listen, if you're an adult and you support, dude, I think the oldest person that we've had on this live in the last hour and a half has been 19. Okay. Do we have any like Anybody over the age of like 20 that's willing to come up here and debate and tell us why you support Trump? Like, come on, guys. What's going on, DT? Do you support Trump?
I'm 35. I do not support Trump.
Base
but-
WU. I'm sorry for kicking you, man. We just want to find a Trump supporter. Thank you though. You're awesome. Okay, you're awesome, guys. Okay. Go ahead, guys. Go ahead and drop a MAGA down below in that chat alongside your age if you're from America and you support Trump. I actually kind of want to get some older people up in the live. I'm not gonna lie. What's up?
Hey, I'm 21.
Do you support Trump?
I do.
Okay. Why?
I think it can be largely represented in a situation that happened quite recently. So I'm going to pose it to you within the framework of a question to kind of put it all into perspective, if that's okay.
You're gonna ask me a question to explain why you support Trump. Well, let's see how this comes together. Take it away.
Yeah, so what did Z say that was so uniquely irredeemable that she had to be publicly ostracized in front of thousands of people?
Yeah, well, I mean, it was microaggressing against black women. Then, of course, it was then not.
And what
taken
was
into
it
account.
specifically?
I'm not done talking, buddy. Yeah, it was using microaggressions against black women, and it was not taking into accountability. Then it was using the same motivations in which led to the microaggressions used against black women to completely lash out on me and everybody else on the crew that detested her, making her an absolutely inability to lead and like work with other people and like points of conflict. I mean, fuck, she screamed at me over the phone just because I told creators not to sign an NDA, which limited them from working with other creators for the next 3 years. Like, holy shit. Okay, lack of ability to deal with like external conflict as it relates to scenarios and engaging and like running a pack. And then, of course, like ultimately, you're going to say, well, what did she do to like justify a live being held
Correct.
to talk about things? Well, I mean, it's has to do with what she did, some of the things in which I just explained, but it's also has to do with what she didn't do. Like, she refused to take accountability. She refused to engage in any conversation that would critique her character in any minute sense relating to what she said on that live against black women or not, even relating to me. It's like at some point, I think that you got to realize that even if, right, she was a head of a company surrounded by other racist white men, that she still would have been fucking fired from the company just because of her ability to like work with others and points of conflict. Now, obviously, this has nothing to do with why you might support Donald
No,
Trump.
it does. It does. So you support Donald Trump. That I actually have to respond to.
Okay, well, I'm not going to talk about the Unfuck America tour. So, because I'm here to talk about
ideologically convenient for you, but this is a large issue regarding your content.
I mean, you could blame it on mere convenience to pivot and dodge, but I think anybody with half a brain would recognize that the Unfuck America tour doesn't have any relation to the fascists sitting in the Oval Office and why you might support them.
So it's not necessarily the Unfuck America tour, but more so the ostracization of that singular individual.
Okay, so you're basically bad at me for holding boundaries. I'm sorry that I want to work with
It's
people
not
that I can
boundaries,
trust to be
bro.
reliable. I'm
It's
sorry that
not
I want to work with
boundaries.
people that I could trust to be a billion things that she wasn't.
Yeah, so again, my question to you is going to be, would it be logical to expect somebody to apologize for actions that they personally don't see as racist in any capacity?
Okay, so you're just going back to the Unfuck America tour. Once again, we're not talking about Z, we're talking about Trump. I'm going to give you one last opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I don't support Trump. I'm a liberal.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here, buddy. Yeah, come up here, make it all about yourself, my friend. Go ahead and take the attention of like over 17,000 people that are in this space to watch me debate Trump supporters, to make it all about yourself. And then guess what? When Dean is unwilling to allow you to make it all about yourself, then call Dean a runner. Call Dean scared, dude. Say whatever the fuck you want, bro. We're here to debate Trump supporters. I told you that a billion times. If you read the five-word sentence on the top of my head, you would have picked that up the moment you came into this space. Very annoying. Now we're going to move on to the next guest, everyone. Go ahead and drop a MAGA down below in that chat if you want to come up here and debate, guys. Go ahead and drop a MAGA down below in that chat if you do indeed want to come up here and debate. We get Eli loading into the live right now.
Hey, Dean.
What's up, Eli? How old are you?
I am 20 years old.
Great. Do you support Trump?
I do, actually.
Great. Well, before we hop into a conversation, I got a couple people to thank. Kyle, thank you so much for the $20 donation over on YouTube Super Chat saying, man, you are amazing. Keep destroying these Trumpsters on every step. Thank you for the love. That's incredibly kind of you, Kyle. As well as Jonah, thank you for the $20 as well. Saying, a 40-year-old woman and an environmental scientist, and I have been hurt by the executive orders against the environment and actions against women. Thank you so much for being an advocate in this chaos. Please run for president. First and foremost, I really appreciate you for your kind message and your $20 donation. And maybe one day, I don't know, we'll see if I ever end up running for a public office. But Eli, take it away. Tell us why you support Trump.
Yeah, so I really like his immigration policy, especially with the mass deportations that are going on currently. And I get that those are very much a touchy topic at this current point. But even going back to his previous term, pre-COVID, economic growth was huge, as well as, his America First approach, which really stands out.
Okay, we'll talk about that for, I don't know, maybe 30 seconds. You said that he caused a lot of economic growth in his first administration. What did he do to cause a lot of economic growth in his first administration?
Um, See, I wish I could tell you that I'm educated enough to tell you exactly what he did, but we all know that the unemployment rates were low, rising stock markets, and so on and so forth.
Okay, well, if you just want to baselessly associate things that happen in the economy with being caused by the president, you understand that this logic would also imply that you would have to blame the 14.8% level of unemployment in April of 2020 on Trump. You'd also have to blame the crashes and stagnations in stock markets today on Trump. You'd have to blame the negative GDP growth in the first financial quarter of this year on Trump. You'd have to blame basically everything bad that has happened in his first and second term on him. So do you blame the highest level of unemployment since the Great Depression that occurred in 2020 on him?
That's a good question. I haven't really thought about it that way, to be honest with you.
I mean, I feel like kind of it's common sense. I mean, I appreciate you for being honest. That's cool. But
Yeah, of course.
You've thought about it enough to blame the things that you've observed as being good under his first administration on him.
Well,
the logic
under
is
his
very
first-
obviously would say you'd also have to blame the bad things on him too, right?
Yeah. And to be completely honest with you, under his first administration, under his first term, at the time I was still, not really paying that much into politics. But what really stuck out now, where I'm able to vote, is like I said, his immigration policy and his America First approach.
America First approach. Okay. All right. And you said that you think that mass deportation is America First?
I would say so, yeah.
Okay. How can mass deportation place America first when it only hurts this country?
Do you mind me asking how it hurts the country?
Yeah, for sure. Undocumented immigrants as a demographic, lower per capita crime rates, generate $300 billion in which they add to the American GDP per fiscal year, as well as they pay $100 billion per year in taxes on the federal, state, and local level. So, I mean, not to mention the fact that there's millions of them definitely galvanizes the American labor force. So, I mean, we see that the economy benefits from it. We see that average qualities of life benefits from it. Per capita crime rates benefit from them. So, obviously, removing them would remove, $300 billion from the GDP per year, remove $100 billion that our government could spend on increasing the qualities of lives for people in this country. It could remove millions of individuals from the American labor force, decreasing overall productivity. So I guess I'm just confused why you'd call this an American First plan.
I feel like it's not necessarily coming down to the money and all that. I would say it's more of the safety of the American people. And I know that not everybody was under attack, but there were the certain few that unfortunately fell short to it.
Okay, well, I mean, if you care about the safety of the American people, why would you put a 34-count felon, adjudicated rapist that boasted about perving on changing naked teenage girls at Miss Teen USA in the Oval Office?
I mean, that's not completely related as much as I do respect you, Dean. I respect that you know your stuff, but I wouldn't say that that's completely related to the immigration policy.
I mean, I'm just more so talking about safety and people that can be a threat to it, and seemingly
I understand
a very
that.
large threat to public safety, a huge position of power. And I mean, another thing, can we agree that a lot of violent crime is consequential of poverty?
I mean, yeah.
Well, according to the
100%
Center on
agree
Budget and
with
Policy Priorities, I mean, this big, beautiful bill is going to decrease the after-tax income for 80% of Americans, and it's going to decrease it the most for the bottom 20% of income earners. So it's obviously going to increase levels of poverty. Thereby, consequentially, we'd expect it to increase levels of violent crime.
I mean, yeah, that would theoretically line up, yeah.
So that's why I maybe don't think that Donald Trump is good for public safety. And then also, with the whole mass deportation thing, he's not fixing the root cause of undocumented entry into America either. Okay, so seemingly he wants the issue to persist. He just wants to put band-aids on bullet wounds, do mass deportation, and use undocumented immigrants to fulfill the third tenet of fascism, which is the identification of an enemy as a unifying cause for his base. Right?
Yeah. So can I ask you something then?
Sure.
What exactly are your thoughts on the whole, CCOT situation?
CCOT. Well, for sure, I think that it's a grave immoral travesty that we're illegally deporting undocumented immigrants to a prison for terrorists. I mean, that's what it's called. It's the terrorist detention center without due process and without a day in court.
So when you say grave, do you mean that literally or figuratively?
When I say
because
grave immoral
I know
travesty,
that online,
it's very immoral to violate undocumented immigrants' constitutional rights.
Yeah.
and to send them to a center for like terrorists, like a constant concentration camp. Can we agree?
I wouldn't compare it to a concentration camp, though.
Can we? Okay. Listen.
Okay.
You're caught up on this. I'm just asking you. Can we agree that it is a grave moral travesty, a massive human rights violation, to illegally and unconstitutionally deport people for a center for terrorists in another country without due process?
To an extent. I mean,
what good? What's good about that?
But the thing that I'm trying to wrap my head around.
No, I want you to respond. Why do you only say to an extent? Why is it only wrong to an extent
these people
to
had
illegal
to have
and
done
illegally and
something
unconstitutionally? How could we know that if we didn't give them due process?
Well, because there's people who have Interpol red notices and people who are obviously affiliated with certain groups of people who pose large threats.
So, do you think that Abrigo Garcia was a MS-13 gang member?
That's a very touchy topic.
And then also, words like obviously are doing a lot of heavy lifting there. Our government has only alleged that he's a member of MS-13, and I guess it makes it obvious that he is. So when like Donald Trump is alleged to have raped 26 different women, does that mean that he's obviously a 26-count rapist?
I mean, allegedly, no, because allegedly is allegedly,
True, really. I want you to go ahead and read off the last sentence of this order from the Supreme Court. This was about Abrigo Garcia, sorry, finding the right image, on April 10th. Read off the last sentence out loud.
The last sentence. I'm only seeing about half of it. Like,
don't worry, I'll read it. The United States alleges that Abrigo Garcia has been found to be a member of MS-13. Okay, so even SCOTUS recognizes that it's merely an allegation that he's a member of MS-13.
Correct.
So we could agree that he's not a member of MS-13, or at the bare minimum, we just don't have enough evidence for that.
Yeah, I mean, it comes down to the whole innocent until proven guilty.
Okay,
concept.
So they sent an innocent man to a center for terrorists and did so unapologetically.
Well, when you look at his record, I mean, I wouldn't say that it was deserved. I would say that there was, enough to kind of at least form a file on him. You know what I'm saying?
So do you think that the Trump administration was wrong in unconstitutionally and illegally deporting him?
I can't.
Why do you hesitate?
I can't say that they aren't wrong.
Okay.
I can't say that they aren't wrong.
So how do you hesitate? Why do you hesitate on answering a question if it's wrong when the president breaks the law? But the biggest reason you voted for him is because of your utter conviction and confidence in the fact that it's wrong when individuals break the law to come into America for a better quality of life.
Well, didn't the 34 felonies get dropped? Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not sure on the whole.
They didn't get dropped.
They did not? No. Okay. Well, I heard that they did, and that's beyond me. I mean, the thing that I'm trying to wrap my head around is.
Can you respond to what I just said, please? I just don't feel like you responded.
Oh, sorry.
To what I'm saying.
Sorry, I skipped over it.
Bruh, dude, come on, bro. You got a video of you and your buddy drunk driving on your page?
Correct, I do. Yeah.
So you should be sent to CCOT.
I wasn't driving.
You should be sent to CCOT. You should be sent to CCOT.
Well, that's not okay.
Oh my
but
god!
See, that's not,
oh my god!
See, that's not a terroristic.
Oh my fucking god! You're over here saying that innocent people should be sent to a fucking center for terrorist confinement when they just when they violate a civil law to come into this country for a higher quality of life. Okay, you fucking break a federal criminal law and you drunk drive. Buddy, do you think that you are a greater threat to public safety than undocumented immigrants? Because I sure do.
Am I allowed to unmute? Sorry,
yeah, could we agree that you're a greater threat to public safety in America than undocumented immigrants? Or do you
not
think
really?
That,
no.
So you think that undocumented entry into America is worse than drunk driving?
I mean, I would say it can be.
Dude, get out of here. Hi, Eli. Okay, Eli's not even here. They were just spamming in the comment section saying that I was scamming my fans. Let's go and get that next guest up on the live. If you're part of the 11.5 thousand people that are watching on TikTok and you'd like to come up and debate, let me know in that chat. Hi, how old are you? Okay, they're not here. Let's go to move on to the next guest, everybody. We got Arch Maze loading up in. Let's go to get that next guest up here. Ava, thank you for the $5 over on Venmo. Thank you so much for the love, Ava. As well as Gabrielle, thank you for the $10 for NyQuil to help you sleep after listening to the horrors of Maga. Let's go. Thank you, Gabrielle. Show some love to Gabrielle down below in that chat. And also Joseph, thank you for the $5. And Gerardo, thank you so much for the $50 over on Venmo. That is Gerardo. Gerardo says, I don't reason with Maga anymore. I insult them. Pros and cons. Bro, base. Keep on doing your things, Gerardo. We all love you here. I'd usually give somebody that donates $50 500 W's. Let's go on and give them 1,000 W's just for being the most base person to ever live. Then also Taylor, thank you for the $10 over on PayPal. Shout out to Taylor. Thank you guys so much. Let's go. Arch Maze, what's going on? Are you MAGA?
Yeah.
Okay, how are you?
I am 29.
Okay, all right, man. So why are you MAGA?
Why am I MAGA? Well, like the white race in America is dwindling.
Fuck it, dude. Holy shit. Okay. Continue.
Yes, the white race in America is dwindling, so we have to stop the influx of immigrants, especially those from South America. Our numbers are dwindling, and then we will lose our position as...
Sorry, just give me a second here. Man, go ahead and unmute that mic for me. That was just a strong opener, pal.
Yeah.
So,
well, am I incorrect?
Why?
Correct.
So why do you think that individuals that aren't white immigrating into America is a bad thing?
It's a bad thing. Well, they're natives, but we have to like push them out of this area.
Okay, why?
To have superiority. Why not? Like that's literally why.
So you believe in like
numbers.
white superiority? Why is that?
Why? Because we are the superior race.
And why is that?
Innovation through attrition. We're better at war.
So you think that white individuals are better at innovating and inventing?
Yeah, we pretty much are.
So why do you think that?
Through capitalism and like the social structures that we have.
So capitalism is a word, not an argument. Why do you think that white individuals are better at inventing than black individuals?
Oh, because we're pretty much an invasive species naturally and biologically.
So you're just saying that white individuals are biologically designed to be better at inventing than black individuals. What makes you think that?
Or better than inventing than black individuals? Like better at inventing things of war and stuff like that.
So
that's
what makes you think that white individuals are biologically designed to be better at inventing than other races?
Because we colonized pretty much the entire world.
Okay, so you're basically saying because historically speaking, white individuals have had access to more resources than other groups of individuals, particularly in Europe. Therefore, that means that they're biologically better at inventing. Like, I mean, listen, this is like saying that men are like biologically better at leading than women because men have had access to more societal power through more resources, right? Like, do you believe in that? That like men are better at leading than women? Like biologically, just because they've had a greater opportunity to lead via access to more resources and societal
yeah,
power?
and that's like genetically inherent in like our biology. That's why.
Okay, so what do you think is genetically inherent to men that makes them better at leading than women?
Probably like one factor is testosterone and aggression. That's why we're more prevalent at leading than women.
Okay, so if being aggressive makes you a good leader, I'm just gonna kick him because like the reductio there would be like therefore do you think that Hitler is a good leader? Because he was very aggressive. We all know his answer to that. Buddy, you're an incel. You deserve nothing in life. I'm not even gonna lie. Yeah, you deserve to be laughed at. Yeah, we're going to move on to the next guest, everyone. Go ahead and let us know if you're MAGA down below in the comment section. All right, everyone, just give us a minute. Everyone, just give us a minute. If you're MAGA, let us know down below in that comment section. We got the freak off the live. All right. Who's next? Who's next? We're going to go to get Braden up in the box, everybody. Holy fuck. What's going on?
Yo, Dean, I love you so much. Thank you. You're the best debater ever.
Yo, W Fetus, LFG. All right, we're going to try to get that next guest up in here. Let us know if you're MAGA down below in that comment section. We'll get you loaded in for a debate. Let us know down below, y'all. We're just looking for that next Trump supporter. It's proven incredibly hard to find Trump supporters. I guess we just have like freaks like that last guy. Guess if freaks want to chat, I don't know. What's up, Fitness? Do you support Trump?
What's going on? Yes.
Okay, how old are you?
I'm 19.
Cool. What year are you born in?
2005.
Okay. Do you have any like Bluetooth devices connected?
I do.
Cool. Could you disconnect them so I could hear your voice a little bit more clear? And while you're doing that, I gotta thank Shayla for the $15 over on PayPal. Thank you for the love, Shayla. Shout out to Shayla down below in the chat. Shayla with another 5 as well. As well as Brianna, thank you for the $50 over on PayPal. Brianna says, "Get you and your girlfriend some flowers and send her my best. Hope you both are okay after yesterday." Brianna, that's so kind of you. You know what? I will use that to buy her some flowers. Shout out to Brianna down below in the chat. Thank you so much for the love. As well as JT, thank you so much for the $20 over on Venmo. Riley with a 5 and Mike with a 5. Fitness, take it away. Tell us why you support Trump.
Oh yeah. So can I just use my headphones for the being, or is it like really disruptive?
I'd prefer you not to. It's just because it has a pretty low mic quality, but we could hear you like good enough.
All right, then yeah, I'll just take it off of that then, just because if I take it off, I'm not gonna hear you.
Okay, so why do you support Trump?
So I would just go back to like the transgender and the pro-life, just because.
Holy fuck.
And
Holy
I'm
fuck.
not saying.
Oh my god. You know that Donald Trump has been accused of raping more women than there is trans women in the NCAA? You know that he's been found guilty of twice as many felonies than there is trans women in the NCAA?
I understand. I'm not going back to his history. I'm talking about us going forward as a country.
I mean, I guess like my big thing would be is why are you so hyper fixated on like oppressing 0.1% of the population compared to making life better for everyone? Like, isn't that a fair question? You know, it's like I feel like your political values are like very corrupt in a sense that you're not focused on like making material conditions better. You're just focused on making material conditions for an extreme minority worse. Like, why is that?
It's not that I want to make it worse. It's just you got to think about it of these people leading over the next generation. As it is today, you've seen it in schools, transgender people leading classes, and they literally change kids' minds. A literal life decision that they can literally become a female if they wanted to.
Okay, so you think just
and they
like
have the access to that, and they
I
literally allow you access to that.
So I don't think that you know what it means to be trans, and I don't really feel like explaining that to you because it's not that a male's becoming a female or a female's becoming a male. It's more so viewing gender identity as a social construct that, although it may be related to sex, isn't explained in totality by sex, right? And I'd also like to point out here that you're telling us that you voted for Trump for this reason? Like, Donald Trump, like, can't stop people from, like, promoting virtues of acceptance. He hasn't made it illegal to say that being trans is okay. So why would this relate to why you voted for Trump? Okay, like, I understand that you're a bigot, but, I mean, like, once again, Donald Trump isn't going to stop people from saying that it's okay to be trans.
So, look, I'm not saying that people just want to claim something, that these people are fine. I'm saying about the people who actually take action and actually
Can you
influence
respond to
other
what I
people
said?
to take action.
Yeah, like Donald Trump will not
the other
stop
things,
me
yeah,
nor others
but
from telling individuals that it's okay to be trans. So, like, how
So
does
the
this
other
relate to a
things-
reason why you vote for Trump?
raising tariff, trying to get work back into his own country.
Okay, why are we pivoting?
What do you mean pivoting?
You just pivoted
He's
from
raised up
talking about
tariff.
trans individuals to talking about tariffs.
You said what other political views I have.
No,
with
I
him.
didn't. I didn't say what other political views did you have. I asked
What?
you how this one view of being a bigot, thinking it's not okay to be trans, relates to why you voted for Trump. Because Trump isn't going to stop people like me or other good virtued
Because if
humans
I
from
decide-
promoting acceptability.
Because if I decide to have kids here in the U.S., I'm gonna be I'm gonna be living around those people, and I want to know where I'm gonna be raising my kids, and I want to make sure I have a good environment.
That was a completely incoherent response. Okay, could you repeat the question that I'm asking you? Like, I just want to make sure that we're on the same page here.
What?
Can you repeat the question that I've asked you? Because I don't think that you're understanding the question that I'm asking you.
All right, can you repeat it?
Okay, you don't understand the question that I was asking you. How about this? How about this? You don't like the idea of trans women going into the women's restroom, right?
I don't. It's not that I don't like it. It's just I don't want because I don't want the younger generation to be influenced
Can
by
you
it,
just
which
answer my
literally is
question?
gonna
Do you think
change
that trans
everything.
women should be able to use the women's restroom?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Buddy, what the fuck is going on? Do you think that trans women should be able to use a women's restroom?
Trans women should use the women's restroom. So are they male or female at that point?
You don't even know what a trans woman is.
No, no, like it's just like it's a little difficult. Like the whole thing is
Oh
complicated
my
at a certain
god.
point anyway.
So a trans woman is a male with a gender identity that of a woman.
So a male transgending into a woman going into a woman's bathroom.
Do you
I think
is that
that I
bad?
don't think that should I don't think that should be allowed. I think that
All
there
right,
should
so you
be
do think that's
individual
pretty bad.
souls. Like
So now, what if it's not even like a trans woman? What if it's like a cis man, like you or me, that walks into a woman's restroom, or better yet, pervs on naked teenagers in a woman's changing room? How would you feel about it if a man did that?
I mean, it's definitely not allowed.
Oh,
It's
do you
just
think that
something
would be bad?
yes, it is something bad.
How bad would that be? What do you think should
Again,
happen to that man?
I understand where you're going, but that I'm literally just talking.
Can
of
you
the
answer my
future of the
question?
country.
What should happen to a man that does that?
Be prosecuted,
I mean, what should the punishment be?
whatever the law says.
What do you think the law should say?
Jail time,
How much?
whatever the law says.
What do you think the
I'm
law
not a
should say?
lawyer.
I'm not a lawyer, but I could say if you kill somebody in cold blood, you should go to jail for the rest of your life. Right?
I think it should
so I
be-
think we should. I think we could like speculatively talk about what we think just punishments would be for bad actions. So, what do you think a just punishment would be for a bad action of a cis man perving on naked teenagers changing in a woman's changing room?
I think it would be jail time.
How much?
At least 10 years. It depends how bad the crime is.
At least 10 years. I think it should be a little bit more, but we could definitely agree that's a really bad thing. So
I mean, don't
if
you
a
think
man
people
did
change?
this, like perved on naked teenage girls while they were changing and boasted about it, and then they ran for public office, would you ever support them?
People change.
Oh!
But I'm not even saying that. I'm not
Oh
even
my
saying that
God!
either, and I'm-
Yes, yes. This guy wants to protect his children from trans people, but guess who wants to? Sorry, guys, we got a lag spike there. I think my internet went out for a second. We're back now, everybody. We're back now, everybody. We're back now. Can you guys hear me all right? Can you guys hear me all right? Can you guys hear me? Yeah? Yeah, okay. Sweet, 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 sweet. Anyways, we're back now. Anyway, so this guy thinks that trans individuals existing is so terrible. I mean, truly, it's just gonna fuck his life up. It's gonna destroy this country. But then when there's a cis man that pervs on naked teenagers in their changing
I mean,
rooms,
I never said that.
people change, make him president. People change, give him the nuclear codes. People change, let him control the culture. Jesus Christ.
I mean, come on, man. There's a lot of people that change after coming out from prison, don't you? Wouldn't you think the same?
Donald Trump didn't go to prison for this. In fact, there was never any level of accountability that he faced whatsoever. Let's go to move on to the next guest. If you're in that queue, make sure that means that you support Trump. If you're watching and you'd like to support me, support the stream, you can find my Venmo, my PayPal, and the link tree in my bio. Y'all, I get 100% of the proceeds over on those platforms. You could also find them in the pinned message over on the YouTube stream. I appreciate you guys so much for the love. What's up, Tiff? Do you support Trump?
Yeah.
How old are you?
18.
What year were you born in?
What? Nothing.
I don't think that's an 18-year-old. Moving on to the next guest. If you're one of the 11.6 thousand people tuning in, let me know down below in that chat if you'd like to come up and debate, y'all. Let's get that next guest up on the live right now. Yo, these guests have sucked, bro. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, these guests have been, like, terrible, bro. Like, absolutely just, like, terrible guests today. Terrible guests today. Anita, thank you for the £5 over on YouTube Super Chat, as well as Megan. Thank you for the 15. You're awesome, Megan. Thank you so much. Yeah. These guests suck. These guests, dude, like, we're getting some really smart guests today. We're getting some really smart guests today. Okay, we're gotta move on to the next guest, everyone. I'm gonna troll this one guy, then we're gonna get a real debate going. Let me just troll this one guy real quick. Everyone just do be patient. Hey, Liam, tell me right now, do you support Trump?
You gonna kick me like a little child?
Good boy, good boy. Cupid, do you support
What's
Trump?
up? No.
Based. Goodbye. Pisces Moon 15 is loading up into the live. Give us a minute, y'all. What's going on, Pisces Moon 15? Do you support Trump?
Absolutely not. But I want to tell you something, and I
I'm
hope.
sorry. I'm really sorry. I'm sorry for cutting you off. I would love to hear you out. Dude, you should join my Discord. Let me know what you got to say in the Discord. But we are just looking for debate right now. Like, if we're under any other circumstances except for the fact that I've been live for 2 hours and like everyone today has just been like terrible, and I just want like a single debate with someone with an IQ over 40, I would have happily left you up in here. But I'm sorry. I feel so bad. We're just looking for a debate with a Trump supporter right now, y'all. I do really apologize. Go back to spam and Maga down below in that chat if you want to come up here and debate, y'all. Really just looking for a Trump supporter with an IQ over 35. Yeah. Hey, Jack, thank you for the $10 on Venmo. Jack says, have a good day. Thank you, Jack. Hopefully today will be better than yesterday. Yesterday sucked. What's up, George? Do you support Trump?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, George. All right, man. Well, thank you so much.
Watching him right now on TV.
Very nice, George. George, thank you for joining the stream. I think that we could have a very productive conversation. Now, before we start our conversation, I have a handful of people to thank. Mike, thank you for the $5 on Venmo saying get yourself a drink after talking to the racists. It's Friday night. I'll be doing that. Hell yeah. As well, Sophia, thank you for the $20. Sophia says, love watching you eat at these debates and leave no crumbs. I'm about to eat this guy up. We know that. As well as Sid, thank you for the $75 donation over on Venmo. Jesus, Sid. Sid says, hi, Dean. Happy Friday. Happy Friday, Sid. Let's get 1,000 Sid W's. 1,000 Sid W's. As well as Haley with the 5. And Brianna with another. Oh, wait. Actually, I already thanked you for that. Thank you for the $50, Brianna. But, George, let's have a conversation. Why do you support Trump, bro?
Why not?
Why not? Okay, it's because his economic policy takes money from the poor and gives it to the rich. Why not? It's because he is a terribly incompetent man. You can't play a clip of him speaking intelligently in the last 8 years. Why not? It's because his character sucks. He's a felon rapist that's hit on small children and boasted about perving on naked teenagers.
That's just your opinion.
No. No, it's not. When I say he's perved on teenagers, it's because he's boasted about it vocally.
I ain't never seen no proof of that.
Think about the conflict a little bit later on. The question is, how can it not be construed?
No, I mean, some of these foreign girls, Mr. Trump, in my country, we say hello with vagina. And
well, you could also say, as the owner of the pageant, it's your obligation to do that.
So you have done that.
I'll tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show.
Yes.
And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And, no men are anywhere. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I'm inspecting. Right. I want to make sure that
like
everything is good.
You're there.
Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible-looking women. And so I sort of get away with things like that.
Well, now you have.
Well, that's his job. That was his job, wasn't it? Sound like.
So, no.
He was in charge.
It's not the
job. What they got to do, it ain't saying that he's following the women or doing whatever to them.
So it's not the job of a business owner to perv on naked women in their business.
Didn't sound like he was perving on naked women. He was walking into a place where pretty women was all I heard.
I don't know if we listened to the same thing. He said that he would walk backstage before a show in the women's changing room where there's no men around, and they'd be standing there with no clothes on, and it'd be looking at them. And keep in mind, some of these women, we'll call them girls because that's what they were as young as 15 years old.
How do you know they was 15?
Because it was at the Miss Teen USA pageant.
Well, I mean, I wasn't there, so I don't know.
Are you a Christian?
Oh, yeah.
Were you there at Jesus' resurrection, George?
Nope, but I know it happened.
Why? Because you read about it in a book? Well, I mean, we heard it from the source. Donald Trump just admitted it. That's like imagine that we had like a video recording of Jesus resurrecting from the dead. Okay, that's like the same level of evidence that we have as it relates to Donald Trump perving on naked teenagers. I mean, shit, he admitted to it. He boasted about it.
First of all, are you a Christian?
Yes, sir. I'm a Christian. I'm the best goddamn diddly darn Christian you've ever met, sir. I've dedicated my life to the gospel of my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. I know the entirety of the gospel, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and
First
James.
thing you
I read
do,
it front to back every single morning, and when I put my 10 kids to sleep at night, I read it to them too. In fact, I so vehemently uphold the teachings. What's that?
You're just being a smart ass.
Okay, you're right. I am.
You
I'll
got
give
to
it
be an
this.
atheist or something.
Well, okay, I'm an agnostic atheist, but I actually love studying the Christian religion, but that's not relevant here nor there.
Well, I have nothing to say to anybody that's an atheist or nothing.
I know, I'm not
This
an atheist. Like I said,
conversation's over
whoa,
with.
whoa, I'm a Christian, George. Quiz me on the Bible. I know my shit. George, no! Oh, you're back. Quiz me on my Bible. I'll prove it. Ask me anything about Christianity. I'll prove it. I'm a Christian. No, George! Ah, you're persecuting me because I'm a Christian. He must be leaving because I'm a Christian, everybody. Christians are so persecuted in America. Christians are the most persecuted people in this. Oh, George, you're back! Oh, he's got to go. Okay, I'll help him out. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm having too much fun. I need to stop having so much fun. Okay. All right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, bro. We're going to move on to the next guest. Go on and drop a Maga down below in that chat if you'd like to come up and debate. Funny that he won't talk to me because I'm not a Christian, but then he'll vote for I don't know. Hey, Kevin, what's up? How old are you?
Too young.
Okay, thanks for being honest. I guess. Thanks for being honest. Moving on, everybody, let us know if you're MAGA down below in that chat and you'd like to come up, have a debate. Somebody in the chat said I kicked him. Yeah, I was helping him out. He wanted to leave, so I'll let him leave. Okay. Let's get in that next guest up here right now, everybody. Somebody in the chat says, George, what's wrong? I know, right? What was wrong? I certainly don't know. Where's the next Trump supporter at, man? Hello, Bradley. Do you support Trump?
I do.
Oh, Bradley, no. Why do you support such a train wreck of a presidency, dude? You got to be trolling.
All right. Well, we'll start with. I'll say the first issue we'll start with is the border. I like his policy. On the border.
Real quick, how old are you?
I'm 25.
Okay, take it away. You like his policy on the border. Can you name a single long-term solution that Donald Trump has proposed and/or implemented to reduce undocumented entry into this country in the long term?
Well, I can say this. Do you support border policy in terms of stopping illegals from coming into the country?
Oh, of course. That's why I support having as many legal means of entry into America as possible so we could flat out remove all incentive for undocumented entry. Yeah.
But do you support the deportation policy that President Trump has?
I don't support mass deportation. My stance on immigration is incredibly radical. I think that mass deportation sucks. I think that it's okay to deport individuals with prior violent offenses, but for everybody else, give them a pathway to residency or citizenship. It's better for them, it's better for you, it's better for me, and it's better for America. Amen.
Okay, so are you familiar with Barack Obama, his policy in deportation?
Yeah.
He actually
a lot
deported.
Of deportations. There you go. Well, that's why I said I'm radical. I'm further left than the Democrat Party on this.
So what about President Trump's policies do you not support?
Well, yeah, the fact
when it comes to mass deportation.
Oh, for sure. Well, it's because he's deporting undocumented immigrants, violating their constitutional rights. That's a humanitarian issue. It's a disdain for human rights. It's the second tenet of fascism fulfilled. And B, it absolutely hurts America and the undocumented immigrants. I mean, think about it. We're forcefully removing millions of people that contribute $100 billion per year in taxes. Make that make sense. We're forcefully removing a demographic of individuals that contribute $300 billion per year to the GDP. Make that make sense. We're forcefully removing millions of people from the American labor force that strengthen and increase the productivity of American manufacturers. Make that make sense when you're the same people preaching that pro-America agenda of strengthening American manufacturers. Come on, man. It should be common sense, but it's not.
So what I'll say to that is this. I do believe that there should be a right to come into this country for others. I'm not against that. But I believe, as the president says openly, there has to be done through illegal means. So I'm not against people coming into the country.
Why is he so chill with like letting people do illegal shit when they're citizens, but not when they're non-citizens? Like, remember when he pardoned DJ Rodriguez, who tried to kill a cop by putting a stun gun into their neck on January 6th? Then he's like, he's a patriot. I'm going to pardon him and let him out of jail. Or even just like yesterday when he pardoned two people that had committed felony tax fraud and pled guilty into it just because their mom donated him $1 million. Or him himself, who's a 34-count convict.
Listen, the thing is, you can't just look at one issue like that, because you can look at every single president. You know, I'm not just saying Democrats, not saying just every Republican, every Democrat president. If you were to go through their pardon, who they've pardoned, they pardoned so many people. You can't the argument of he's pardoning.
Yeah, name a violent offender that Biden pardoned.
Off the top of my head, I couldn't, but I could tell you that.
Just said you could.
I know I said if you look into it. I'm sure if you look into most in the last 20 years, you look at every president, Democrat, Republican, I'm sure you can find people who they've pardoned.
So this is what I call an argument from ignorance. You're basically saying, I don't know it exists, but I'm going to assume that it does, so your argument is weaker.
You lagged out.
This is an argument from ignorance. You're saying, I don't know that this exists. I don't have any evidence for it either, but I'm just going to assume that this exists, so your argument is weaker.
Okay, so you're saying that, let's just use Hunter Biden as an example. He pardoned him from a crime, okay, that was convicted. Okay,
Yeah,
if
but
you
it
want to talk
wasn't a
about
violent offense.
Was it a convicted crime though?
Yeah, but it wasn't a violent offense. And my particular issues that I pointed out with Donald Trump's pardons were him A, taking fucking bribes for pardons, and B, pardoning violent offenders.
So where is there proof that he specifically took bribes for pardons? Because I can tell you this before you get into that, I'm familiar with the back in the first term with the whole Rudy Giuliani thing, where they mentioned that he was basically selling, I would say would be the word, pardons for $1 million, but there's no actual proof that this happened. Those are just reports.
Only the mom of two people he just pardoned sending him $1 million 3 weeks before the pardons. If you don't want to call that proof, I guess we're just going to have to agree to disagree and talk about something else. Do you want to talk about how he tried to steal the election for Biden in 2020?
No, I'm not. Listen, I can say this, okay? So my opinion on Trump, I support him.
Why?
But do I think he's perfect?
Why do you support
Absolutely
him?
not.
Wait. We all pivoted away because you asked me for my thoughts on mass deportation, and I gave you them, and you never responded to them.
I don't remember exactly what point.
For sure.
What part would you like me to respond?
I certainly justified that mass deportation is a terrible plan for America. It hurts undocumented immigrants. It hurts you, me. It hurts Americans, and it hurts America as a whole.
So do you disagree with Barack Obama's deportation policies that he had?
I disagree with the deportation of any undocumented immigrant that hasn't committed violent offenses. However, I think that Donald Trump is demonstrably worse than people like Obama or Biden because A, they focused on people.
But we're not talking about the person. We're talking about the
B,
policy.
Yeah, I'm talking about their policy, sir. What are you not tracking?
No, that's what I'm trying to tell you.
What was the reason of that interruption?
Because you're trying to compare the person right there, and I'm saying
I'm talking about the deportations of the person as the president.
Can you say that you disagree with Barack Obama's deportation?
Well,
policies?
I've only answered that question 2 times, and in the middle of my third time answering you interrupted me again.
You beat around it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Would you prefer me to write off my answer in a fucking on a polka dot piece of printer paper with crayon?
No,
because you can't understand anything that's longer than a sentence and a half.
No, it's that you won't. You won't say.
Hey, name one time you haven't interrupted me while I speak since you've joined.
You've interrupted me just so many times, but go ahead. Whatever you like to say. Go ahead.
Oh, great. So we got a vigilante. How about this? You don't interrupt me. I don't interrupt you.
Go ahead.
Great. So, yeah, I disagree with the deportation of any undocumented immigrant that hasn't committed prior violent offenses. This would include deportations under Biden and Obama. However, I think that Donald Trump is significantly worse than both Biden and Obama because A, Biden and Obama put a preface on individuals with prior violent offenses. Donald Trump just wants to deport everybody and anybody that he doesn't like, including some citizens, like a 2-year-old girl with brain cancer. And B, at least the deportations done by Biden and Obama weren't illegal, right? Trump has been illegally deporting undocumented immigrants, violating their constitutional rights. And D, Donald Trump has identified undocumented immigrants as an enemy and has lied about them being gang members, P3DOs, and violent murderers and rapists to further galvanize his prejudice base to get them to support him, while proactively torpedoing any proactive solutions to reduce undocumented immigration into America in the long term, such as he did when he torpedoed the bipartisan border bill under Biden and Harris. That's something that Biden and Obama never did. So it is for those reasons that he's significantly worse than them. Now, would you please respond to the reasons why I disagree with his mass deportations?
What I'll say to that is so we have a disagreement on the deportation policy to an extent. You're mentioning specifics in it where you're saying Trump does it with non-violent criminals, and Obama and Biden did it with
We're not
violent
even
criminals.
listen. I answered your question because I'm a nice
No,
guy.
no, that's fine.
But
You
it was
asked
a
me to
pivot.
respond.
I want
That's my
you to
response.
respond to my reasons why Donald Trump's mass deportation is bad.
You're asking me to respond to why it's bad?
Yes, I
I don't
explained why
agree.
it's bad.
I don't agree that it's bad though. So why would I respond that it's bad?
Because this is a debate.
Okay, and as I said, I don't agree that Donald Trump's deportation policy is bad.
I know.
What I will
That's
say,
why we're debating.
Okay, so what I will say to that is, again, as I said when I brought up the point, there's a legal means to entry in the country. And regardless of violent or non-violent...
You are not responding to my reasons. I'll repeat them. I think that mass amnesty is preferable over mass deportation because under mass amnesty, they could continue to contribute to GDP growth, they could continue to pay $100 billion in taxes, and they could continue to galvanize the American labor force and American industries. Mass deportation is costly, costs $175 billion up front, $100 billion in reoccurring opportunity costs by year because that's what they would pay in taxes if they weren't deported, as well as it shrinks economic growth and decreases it by $300 billion per year, which is what they personally contributed, as well as the long-term impacts of weakening the American labor force. So I specifically want you to respond to my argument detailing why mass amnesty is preferable to mass deportation. If you cannot rebuttal that position, I'm going to move on. Go ahead and unmute.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, there you go. Okay, so have you looked into the numbers regarding what illegals they get out of healthcare services per year?
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's very high.
What
So
is it?
you're talking about well, look, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's close to $500 million a year that they take out of
Okay.
covering from Medicaid.
Yeah, okay, $500 million. That's great. You want to know why?
Sure.
Because they pay $100 billion
I mean,
per year in taxes. That's like saying that we're going to spend half a dollar to get $100 back. Is spending 50 cents to get a return of $100 a good investment?
Who said that illegals pay $100 billion a year in taxes?
The IRS, the Institute on Taxation and Economic Policy, House Republicans, and even Donald Trump himself affirmed that when he went to the IRS to ask them to identify the undocumented immigrants that pay taxes to them.
Okay, well, I was unfamiliar with that, but at the end of the day, I still do believe that. Listen, the bottom line is this.
No, I don't want to hear the
believe
bottom
that
line. I want to hear your response to what you just said. You said that they cost our government $500 million, yet they give our government $100 billion. How could you possibly justify that they're a drain on the American economy?
Listen, I can tell you, but it's not just about that. It's not just about economic
else is
growth.
it about?
If you want to talk about economic growth, this is what President Trump's tariffs are. And I will say something, because I know you're going to say, "Oh, what about tariffs?" And I will say this about
before
tariffs.
we pivot to the tariffs, then what is it about as it relates to mass deportation?
Well, no, because you can't just take one piece of information and say that, oh, we make $100 million, whatever, $100 billion off $500 million in taxes, because if you make it up in other places, and that's what the president's trying to do with tariffs. He's trying to make up money from different things that they would lose money from, and that would essentially be that lost money.
Yeah, tariffs decrease the productivity of the American economy. That's why we had negative GDP growth in the first quarter of this year. That doesn't make money; it loses money.
Yeah. Okay, so I figured you'd say that about tariffs, but the thing with the president's tariffs is the president's tariffs are a long-term objective. If you look at how they would work long-term,
he dropped it.
They would.
They're not long-term because they're already gone. Taco Trump.
No, he did not drop them.
Yeah,
he did not drop them. No, he did not.
Yeah, he did.
The president did not drop the tariffs. The president.
So were you just completely unaware when he put the 90-day pause on them?
Yeah, pause is a big. I was gonna say he paused them, which is a big difference. The pause, and if you know what the pause is for, the pause is purely for negotiation with other countries. That's all it is.
Negotiation for what?
Negotiation for fair tariffs in his mind. I don't know what he's gonna come up with.
So he said he could get 90 deals in the first 90 days. How many deals has he gotten?
Again, I don't know, but you
Yeah.
have to
I do.
you can't.
You got one deal.
Okay, but the point is that after a certain amount of time, give it a year or 2 years, and of course it's not the 90 days he promised, but that's how politicians work. Politicians don't
Oh, so you're
actually.
basically saying that the tariffs will end up benefiting us in a year or two? Give me an argument for that.
I think that you wait 2 years, that the tariffs will definitely benefit the U.S.
Okay, so then give an argument for that.
I'll give you an argument. So right now, where the trade deficit with China, I want to say off the top of my head, I don't know the exact number, but I want to say it's roughly what, $300 billion a year between the U.S. and China. Would you agree that's the number?
Yeah, I don't know the number. But do you want to make an argument that the tariffs will benefit us in 2 years?
No. So no.
What's the sound justified?
So my argument.
Can you calm down?
My argument is the trade deficit's about $300 billion. Again, don't know the exact number, but it's around there. So if you can come to an agreement with China, and again, these things don't take a day. They don't take 90 days. The president says 90 days, figure of speech, whether it's true, whether he really at the time.
Dude, this guy's like annoying the fuck. Dude, I'm sorry. Like honestly, I was about to say like you're annoying me. I think that you're overstimulating me. Like because you're ping ponging around the place, talking like 100 words per minute and saying absolutely nothing.
Well, that's just how you're taking it. You don't hearing
like
my
how about
argument,
this?
but if you let me finish, we agreed.
Can you just like slow down a little bit? Okay, don't speak at 150 words per minute, and don't like fill the blank space with words that may or may not make an argument. Just put a little bit more intention and conscious thought in what you're saying. Give me an argument to justify that the long-term economic outcome of Donald Trump's tariffs will be positive for the American economy.
So again, the trade deficit between the U.S. and China is about $300 billion per year. I believe that if Trump can come to an agreement with China, I'm not saying it's going to take 90 days, could take a year or two. If he comes to an agreement that he believes is fair, and that's what they would work on, they can hopefully get that trade deficit maybe down to, possibly there could be no trade deficit. Or maybe
what is a trade deficit?
Billion. The trade deficit would be the difference between what we receive and what we receive from China.
Trade deficits are a bad thing?
I mean, trade deficits could be, having no trade deficits is definitely not a bad thing.
Really? Because we had no trade deficits during the Great Depression.
You're talking about 100 years ago, where it's a different day and age. You can't make an argument about 100 years ago. So what I'm trying to say to you is that
So I want you to tell me why trade deficits were good during the Great Depression but bad now.
Listen, I don't have an opinion on the Great Depression in the early 1900s, unfortunately, and you really shouldn't either, because times have changed, things have changed. There's no.
But no, like the principles of macroeconomics haven't. So trade deficits aren't inherently a bad thing. In fact, they'd be expected from the richest country on earth. Of course, the richest country on earth is going to be buying more goods from countries with lower per capita expenditure, right? Because we're the richest country on earth. We account for 30% of all global commerce. One country, 30%. Okay? It's a damn expectation that we're going to have trade deficits with other countries out of the mere simple fact that we have more money to spend than other countries. Now, what's the argument to justify that the long-term economic outcome of the tariffs will be a good thing? I'll give you one more chance before I move on, because you're still overstimulating me, because you're just like speaking fast and saying nothing.
Listen, it's overstimulating to you, because this is how it is when it comes to you hearing an argument from a person who supports the president. That's the bottom line.
No, not all Trump supporters overstimulate me. That's not true.
Okay, well, the trade deficit. Okay,
so the argument has something to do with trade deficits. Got it.
No, this is just part of it, and this, I believe, is a strong part of it. If you can get this trade deficit, because you have what I'm trying to tell.
So we already know what Donald Trump is doing to try to get the trade deficit down with China. Can I tell you?
Sure.
Yeah, to increase our tariffs on them. So right now, the deal he was able to achieve was in total a long-term 30% tariff on the country of China. And how is that going to drive the trade deficit down, sir?
Well, the trade deficit, ideally, from that situation, if the tariffs are increased on China, would go down just based off the simple fact that we would be receiving Will you be selling more products to China and in turn receiving more money? Because
No. Keep in mind that a tariff that we have on Chinese goods has nothing to do with what we're selling to China, because that tariff applies to what they're selling to us. So how is an overall increase in the average tariff on China going to decrease the trade deficit?
Yeah, but the whole idea of the tariffs is that the president doesn't like the fact that our products are getting tariffed.
Are you gonna answer my question? How is a 30% tariff that he's achieved as a long-term deal on China going to reduce the trade deficit? I could tell you.
Go ahead. Let me hear what you have to say.
The answer is because that's going to make Americans pay more for Chinese goods, which is going to mean less Americans are going to buy them, right? But tell me why making the bare necessities to live for Americans more expensive, meaning less Americans can afford them, is a good thing for Americans.
Because that's not what ideally would happen.
That is ideally what happens. Yes. That is the trade agreement that he met via negotiation by increasing the tariffs.
So let me ask you
No. You interrupt me one more time and I'm going to kick you. You're laughing at that as if you're not just totally being a little fucking ass, dude. I'm up here trying to have a genuine conversation, explain to you the truth behind macroeconomics and the way in which tariffing other countries can impact America. I'm being super calm about it. I'm being polite. I'm being respectful. And I'm just trying to literally explain to you principles of macroeconomics. You interrupt me 4 fucking words in, and I'm like, if you do that again, I'm going to kick you because you're being a little piece of shit. And then dude, okay, just come on, be civil, okay? Anyways, all right? The deal that he achieved with China is the long-term agreement, okay? Because that is what he was able to negotiate when he got them to the table by increasing our tariffs on them dramatically to like 250%. So the 30% tariff on China is the long-term deal, all right? And that will reduce the trade deficit. You're right. But I don't think that's good for America, because all that means, as I already stated, I want you to listen very closely this time, is that Americans will be able to buy Chinese goods for a higher price. Okay, meaning some Americans will be less likely to buy Chinese goods because they're no longer affordable. However, many Chinese goods can be considered as the bare necessities to live for a lot of Americans, basically implying that Americans will be paying more for a lot of the bare necessities to live. Okay, and yeah, that will reduce the trade deficit. However, this is why I say that a trade deficit isn't always a bad thing, because obviously that's a bad thing for America, as well as Americans paying more for the bare necessities to live.
So what I was gonna say to you before you mentioned that I interrupted you was what ideally I think the president is trying to do.
That is the ideal. That is the ideal. That is the ideal success. That's a long-term trade deal.
Okay, so what I'm trying to say is I think the president, what he wants to do, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, but I believe the president wants to get the tariffs. I'm not saying he's going to get them to a 0-0 situation. It's basically not happening.
Okay, this following statement must be going in one ear and out the other. This is the ideal long-term deal that he achieved through 60 days of negotiation with a country.
Okay.
Was a 30% tariff on them. That is the long-term deal.
But this is not the final deal that they want. I'm not saying it's not.
Great, I'm going to kick you now. Goodbye. We're going to move on to the next guest. It is. Like, that is the long-term deal. Oh my God. What an absolute raging idiot.